Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Paddling Pool 374. We're kicking it right off with your winner semifinals. I'm Signakari. Joining me on the mic is Slat, and we've got a pretty interesting set to kick things off. Fading away, or I'm looking at the wrong set. Is Eclipse versus Bill Collectors. Bill Collectors, largely king. The roster from Ludi. I think they won Div 1, and Eclipse is a fairly unknown pickup as far as I'm aware. We're kicking things off on Tower on Hagglefish. Slat, how are you doing?
I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm actually really excited to watch some more Paddling Pool. You said Eclipse is a pickup that we don't know that much about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I don't have the send to it page yet. 1 second.
Yeah, it looks like...
I apologize.
That's all good. You know, I kind of just woke up as well, so... But, I mean, so far, they're doing pretty darn well for themselves. Already past that first checkpoint. Looks like Bill Collectors, though, are able to get a couple of picks, just retake the rest of the map. Soren's pretty far forwards, while Taxes is just trying to walk. There's Soren and Zog again on that left-hand side. This Viper Blaster duo has been really solid at just playing the sides of this map like you have to on Hagglefish Market, and just kind of drawing attention, making sure that the rest of the team can kind of play the game. I know Ultra really appreciates that on the Dynamo Roller, as well as Taxes on that leader. Leader really thrives when stuff isn't looking at it, and so far, I mean, it also thrives during the neutral. That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will say Eclipse is doing a great job at, like, not letting Bill Collectors get past mid. They keep pushing into Bill Collector's base, but whenever it's Bill Collector's turn on the tower, they can't seem to get past mid. And it's just because I feel like the Slosher and the NZAP combo is doing a really good job at just keeping their paint forward and not letting Bill Collectors get any ground on them.
Yeah, I mean, the backless part of Eclipse's comp is also really good at the mobility sort of aspect of dealing with leader. You know, if you can just evade the big laser in the middle of the map, then you're doing pretty well for yourself. And so far, it's working out. But as I say that, Taxes gets one. Looks like Soren gets a second jumping to tower. And with the third player going down, they pop the big bubbler. But, I mean, immediately, Bill Collectors, they're accelerating. They're raring to go. There's the wipeout. And I'm pretty confident they'll be able to take this first check. They have two specials on the board here, too, Slat.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, even if, like, people come and aggressively attack, like, they kind of try to with that toxic mix. I wouldn't call that aggressive, though. They can, like, hold it really nice here, as well as, like you said, Taxes here does have the Kraken at the ready, which they can use to just push forward a little bit if they need to. And honestly, like you said, hey, look, they broke through the check. All they have to do is just make it to the second one in order to take the lead here.
And in a 2-on-2, I mean, Soren's going to have to do a lot of work. That Kraken can't get on tower. The Ultra Stamp is popped. Doesn't quite get the jump, and with everybody from Eclipse collapsing, they're going to have a successful defense, able to kind of just save the lead here. Still 2.5 minutes left. They're not out of the woods, but with Zog kind of getting found out, they're going to have to make something happen. And that leader from Taxes is just so lethal, able to find one. 3 players actually end up going down, and with the Zinc Mini Splatling dropping there, Ultra and Soren are already in the base.
Yeah, and with the wipe, like that last second there, it's giving them an opportunity to just really, really keep them forward. And as we can see, they're putting the points back on the board as they are just about to take the lead. Taxes jumps off and goes Kraken, but loses like right before the lead. But it's okay because the Dynamo hops back on to get the lead and break through checkpoint 2.
Yeah, Ultra and Taxes, they're really good at juggling the objective so far, able to kind of get Taxes set up on that more defensive spot. This is a really hard part of the map to push just because of all the angles that you kind of push the tower into. Soren, though, in a really strong position, does have to back off, but gives the jump into Zog. Doesn't quite find anything with the splashdown, but 2 players end up dropping anyways. Cyan's over on the left-hand side, or on the right-hand side, gets picked off as well. It's 3 players down again, and just the Zap left standing for Eclipse. This relentless assault from Bill Collectors is just not stopping. I mean, they are still going. Soren's back in top right.
Exactly. I mean, if you have the momentum, why throw it away? Especially when you have all of your players up. I mean, they just lost one now, but they're keeping their players up. Why not keep the momentum going? I mean, as you can see, we've got Taxes back here. They also have Cooler out, and like you were saying earlier, amazing shots from them as well. If you have the momentum, you might as well keep it going. And even if you can't keep pushing forward, if you just keep the tower on this side for the next 30 seconds, the game's yours.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what Bill Collectors are working towards. They have this crazy strong advantage state that's just further made stronger by Taxes constantly finding picks on this leader. And Ultra just has the Cooler at the ready immediately for this final fight, almost like Turf War in a sense, where you have that Cooler ready, you can get back in case something happens. But realistically, nothing is happening for Eclipse. They're not able to get anything going. Bill Collectors has just kept the tower in the right side of this map with the lead. Finau on the Zimmy just tries to move in, but eventually just drops to the splashdown, and the Kraken's Klein gets on the tower, but with Zog just on the custom blaster farming frags, Bill Collectors take the first game here in winter semis.
It's a really good first game, honestly, to hop on into. For now, that name is familiar. When I was doing the weekly ink, where we named out all the Ludi winners, that was one of the names I read. I don't remember what div that they won, but they won a Ludi division. I could go back through real quick and check. Is there a way to look at the Ludi, like, real quick, the Ludi winners?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
zero clue.
But so I know that player from Eclipse, but the others I've never heard of before.
I know Dragib is on Paris St. Lufus, the only team that has been running L3 Nozzle Nose in the past, like, probably 4 years. Shout out Glash for that one. But I'm not sure who Azurai and Kirby are. But Bill Collectors, let's go back to the previous game really quickly, because oh my goodness, Bill Collectors just dominated the second half. They did not give Eclipse an inch.
Yeah, well, in the first half, like, honestly, they had us in the first half. Really, truly, like, I didn't expect for that came out of left field, because Eclipse was doing such a good job at defending. Like, they got a little bit forward, they broke that first check and got a little bit forward, and they were holding that for assault, I think, like, the first half of the match, right? And then, like, Bill Collectors comes out of left field and just immediately, I want to say completely dominates, but, like, still a strong enough showing to where they didn't move for the second half of the match. They stayed between mid and the second checkpoint the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, when you have just a couple of weapons that dominate in advantage state and neutral, like Leader and Dynamo Roller, and then you have a blaster to just punish anybody that tries to make an aggressive play, Bill Collectors can kind of just get the lead and hold you to that spot. They have Beacon set up because Taxes was on the custom leader with the Beacon Kraken kit. And, you know, do you really want to jump into the Dynamo Roller when they have a swing up, and then when they don't have a swing up, you have to deal with the Leader Laser? It's not a lot of fun to kind of deal with for Eclipse here, and Bill Collectors, they kind of dominated. Going into Clamblitz, it's all about the neutral again. Like, this is a very neutral-heavy map and mode, especially, where you have to play for that economy. I feel like Bill Collectors have, like, a pretty solid game plan, and I think they can kind of stick to it for this game, too.
I actually 100% agree with that. I also realized Klein, it looks like it's Calvin Klein. Love that.
Oh, I see.
I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, I like the brand. I forget it's clothing, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. All right. First off here, I'm not seeing any changes. Was that S-Blast there before? I don't think that S-Blast was there before.
I don't believe so. I believe it was a custom blaster or a zap from Cyan. Looks like they're opting to switch the zap. Or no, Climb was on the zap anyways. But I believe it was like a custom blaster or something. Cyan's already walking forwards with that big bubbler, able to find one. Walking forwards for the second one. The suction bomb forces Taxes out, but with players getting traded constantly on the platform and Taxes hitting shots like that, I mean, Bill Collectors, they may go down temporarily, but they're still holding fairly strong.
You know, like a little bit, like a little stagger, I would say, but like nothing crazy. Like, yeah, they still need to break back into mid. They have to take their elbow back and then break back into mid. But like they have a ball. They have 3 specials out. They just threw their cooler out. Now they have 2 specials like in their back pocket. They have plenty of time to push. Like you said, they already have like if the dynamo swing isn't up, the laser's out, and we have Zog here with 2, 3. Can we get a 4th pick with Zog? Just come on. No, not quite, as they do still break through the barrier and start scoring on them. Get 2 balls in, wow.
All that space created from the custom blaster, whether that's the splashdown or just the threat, even though it was nerfed, it's still an immensely, like, capable main weapon. Yeah. And with taxes just on with the Kraken on the Cyan, the hammer as well, nowhere is safe for Eclipse. They're not able to drop and contest the scoring. We're already down to 30 points here, Slat. Make that 20, and with Soren finding another pick onto the Zimmy, this lead is just going to keep expanding. We might see 100-0 at the very end here. It looks like, though, Taxes doesn't have space, does have space actually, with the rest of the team pressuring Cyan, and with 2 clams to go for the KO. Zog's got 1, Soren's got 1 more. Mist does slow down, but it doesn't matter. There's the 100-0, wow. And Bill Collectors, that is just sheer dominance. They put themselves on match point.
Wow, that was wow. Yeah, they put themselves there. Absolutely. They said they took match point. They said that it is ours. Really phenomenal. Gameplay. That was strong.
It was the same thing as game 1, not exactly the same, but very similar. Of
right,
you know, you kind of go down a little bit early, but Eclipse overextended, and that's kind of in the name of the game. Just wait for somebody to overextend on the side of Eclipse. I forgot who got picked off, but it was Taxes who got the eventual snipe with the E-leader onto the plat. And that just accelerated Bill Collector's game plan. When you have Wiper, Zap, and Blaster, those 3 weapons can just run forwards. And the custom leader, I think, works really well because you can Kraken to keep pace, you can Beacon for stability. Although you are leader, so I don't know how much stability you need with that. And it works out super well. And again, we just saw the dominant advantage state.
That was crazy. Sorry, I went to bed at like 7 a.m. and it's 12:50, so I'm awake for this. I am. I had my caffeine. I'm good. It's just that was a crazy set. I'm waking up because of it. So shouts out these 2 teams for going crazy. Like you said, like they're very similar, right? But Eclipse didn't like bully Bill Collectors for as long as they did in the first game. Like, for the first game, it was half the game. For this, it was, like, a minute. And then, like, this game ended in a knockout. Which, like, in a crazy fast knockout. So they're picking up the pace a lot.
They are, absolutely. And this is kind of one of the problems when you don't have a super long-range weapon on the side of Eclipse. You can kind of just get steamrolled. Like, you have to really be smart with your openings. You can't be overextending. You just really need to play... I don't want to say... intelligently, because obviously, like, what Eclipse is doing is working, and there's a reason why they got this far. They're really smart players, but like, they're just overstepping that little bit that you just simply cannot do against a leader, and they're really getting punished. Going to Rainmaker on Humpback Pump Track, leader can sometimes struggle here. Obviously, the Kraken kit is pretty solid at just like popping the range shield and is much more flexible and is able to get aggressive, but you still have the main weapon, which is sometimes a bit of a struggle on this map and on Rainmaker as a whole.
Absolutely. Oh, looks like okay, we got a little bit of a switch up from Eclipse. We've got Finau switching off of Blaster onto the Mini, and then we've got Cyan on the Custom Blaster, and Bill Collector's keeping their same team.
I really like this switch onto the Rattler Mini Splatling. Able to get those beacons up. Again, provide some of that stability. You have a little bit more of a safety net, and already a couple of picks going your way. Soren, though, on top of the Rainmaker, is able to find one. Stays alive for quite a while to get the second. Ultra does get picked off by Cyan, but Taxes is right there for the trade, and it might be the same song and dance here. Slat tried to get a push going on the side of Eclipse, but again, just overextending, not really dealing with a couple of these super aggressive front lines that King have, or that Bill Collectors have. And, I mean, now they're paying the price. They do get the fight, though. A couple of strikes coming through, and this Slosher is just absolutely farming, just trying to walk forwards, create all the space in the world. Kraken comes out, finds the pick on the Cyan, and, I mean, now they're just going to have to dodge the ball. And the Kraken's the ball, and that's a fairly large one to dodge.
Yeah, and they didn't do a very good job at dodging the ball, unfortunately. Which it happens, like you said, large ball. Anyways, as Bill Collectors, once again, has a very strong hold of mid. We have Fanao here jumping in, trying to get just a little bit of space, but they end up going 2 down on their side, which gives Zog a chance to pick up, and they take the lead just by 1 point. But hey, I mean, they take the lead with 3 minutes, 30 seconds left on the board.
Yeah, a lot of time to make things happen, and neither check has been broken, although with a lot of jumps out and a lot of picks going in the way of Bill Collectors, and Soren just existing in the spawn in the plat of Eclipse. Bill Collectors are able to get the checkpoint. Taxes does have that Kraken to hold the space, doesn't really care about the Rainmaker pop, and even finds a pick onto the Zap. There's not much value you can get out of the Tactical Cooler. Ultra just runs the rain forwards in the meantime. 34 is a pretty solid lead to have, and when you have something that can just stare down sight lines and not have to worry about an ink back, like a leader, like a Dynamo, especially on that elbow choke point around the checkpoint, Bill Collectors, they're pretty happy with this lead, but they're still pushing for a little bit more with Soren on the flank, apparently.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out in their favor, as they seemed to have gotten pushed out of that situation. Instead of taking mid back, it seems Eclipse is going for the strategy of let's get the checkpoint first. And it does seem to be working in their favor as they take the checkpoint and throw strikes out at the same time, which is honestly a really good strategy here because, like, it keeps their eye on, okay, well, we have to take this plat first, which is giving them the opportunity to take the lead here in the last second, getting it to 17, which is an amazing lead for Eclipse here.
That's kind of the benchmark you want to be at. As soon as you get past that ink rail, about sub 20 points, that's where you can start being like, now we can just like play defensive. We don't need to, make any crazy extra pushes, because that's where you can kind of get punished. You can drop the Rainmaker down like Ultra just did and immediately start the scoring thread again. Now with 3 players down, it's just the Zap, Calvin Klein left, and with Soren again on this flank, this Wiper has just been really annoying. A thorn in the side for Eclipse, and with the Ultra Stamp coming through, one's down. There's probably the second onto the Zimmy, but the Slosher is able to trade out the Rainmaker and leave just the Blaster and Leader to try and repop. Cyan's rushing forwards through middle, forces the Kraken out as well. And I mean, this is a tough spot to be in for Bill Collectors. However, I mean, we've seen them come back from some pretty tough stuff before.
Yeah, honestly, they have a chance to do so here. We have the Wiper coming in, taking a trade, which is giving them a chance to push just a little more forward. But for now, Zuka comes out and finishes the job. We just have specials being popped left and right. Just with this last minute, 15 seconds left, everyone's just trying to get their hands on the Rainmaker just so they can push it forward just a little further. Sorry.
It's all good. And it looks like Soren again is just pushing for that flank. You go a player up, and now you can play this 3v3 around the Rainmaker. The Kraken does pick up, but there are 2 players down. It's the Slosher and the Blaster, the cleanup crew, with all this chip damage and AoE. Soren is found out as well by Fanao. And with Eclipse only 50 seconds left, they're looking to try and maybe isolate Soren. One member is flanking for that. And although Zog is able to find the pick on the Rainmaker, Bill Collectors, they're a little bit scattered on the map right now. They might struggle to get a push going here. Eclipse, they're able to rotate in time and contest elbow, but they've just constantly been getting picked off by Taxes from that little top mid perch. And it's been tough to work against.
Oh yeah, for sure. But, like, Eclipse has a really strong hold for having 20 seconds left. Yes, they only have a 5-point lead in this instance, but like you said, once you get past that, that line, oh, it looks like Bill Collectors has a chance to take it here, so we'll see if they do. And it looks like they do have the chance to take it, and they
got caught on the rail.
Go! They got caught on the rail, but they pick it back up, and they take the lead, Sig! And they get a wipeout.
No way!
Whoa, Bill Collectors got wiped out.
Okay, I mean, you'll take that though. That is such a tough lead to get to 4.
Yeah,
I mean, that's unreal. Soren, though, diving in, gives the space for Ultra with the Dynamo flick, and in just barely in the dying seconds of the match, the Kraken and Splashdown get the pop. The getting caught on the ink rail doesn't matter if you get all the way down to single digits, and Bill Collectors just barely complete the sweep.
Wow, that was wild. Okay. Literally, I think they got the Rainmaker literally as the clock hit 0.
They had to. I mean, there was like no time left. There's like maybe 3 seconds. Obviously, you have to get the pick, and Eclipse did, but that is the tightest of margins for that third game, and
yeah,
that's kind of what separates these teams sometimes, you know.
Hey, you never know. Eclipse could crawl their way back out from losers and meet Bill Collectors back again in grands, and we could see this all over again. So, that's all I'm saying. But this is only winter semis. We have a bunch of other teams to still look at. And these are only your seeds. Hey, Bill Collector's only your seed 3 and your seed 7 for Eclipse. We've got other teams to take a look at. And honestly, I'm really excited to see what other games we have here today.
Oh yeah, we've got some demons in bracket today. It looks like for our next set, the winners finals, it's going to be Forza Portugal versus Bill Collectors again. We'll be right back with that after a really quick break. Can't wait to see how that one unfolds.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Paddling Pool. We are right back here with Winners Bracket Finals. We have, sorry, how do I say that?
Forza.
Forza Portugal versus Build Collectors. We got Build Collectors back on here with the same comp. Oh, wait, no, not the same. We got rid of the E-Leader for the Splatter Scope.
Oh, I like that. You know, you bring the Ink Vac as well. You know, Vac versus Vac, and I mean, it's such a strong special on Rainmaker, on Museum Rainmaker specifically, you know, kind of infamous for the Moonlight double Vac comp in NA League a few weeks ago. But so far, it's not working out too great for Build Collectors. Forza Portugal is able to kind of just take some space. They're stabilizing. But with one of their players, I believe one of the gals at World ended up going down there. They do lose a lot of space. The Range Blaster drops, but so does Zog. World drops again, and it's just Mio left standing. And, I mean, Build Collectors, they're looking to try and get something going here. It's just nobody has been able to move past mid, realistically, just because we keep trading out.
Yeah, see, it's pretty much a status stalemate. Like, both teams are just, like, clawing for mid. I mean, honestly, if you just get, like, the right person, and then, like, as you see Zog pushing forward to get some picks right on the lip there, getting those blaster picks as they do, we see Forza Portugal go 3 down, almost a full wipe, as Build Collectors takes this moment, and Ultra slams that Rainmaker down on the checkpoint immediately here. And they immediately just, they're down to keep going. They're waiting a second before they push forward so they can, you know, get a little bit more pain out, as well as, hey, Mio does have a bat here, which might stop the push, which it looks like it was able to.
Yeah, I mean, the push is stopped. They get the pop as well. Splashdown wasn't able to find anything. Soren does grab the rain for a couple of extra points at the end. And those points can mean anything, mean the difference here for Build Collectors. But with Forza Portugal just getting 3, it's just Soren back up, who eventually gets wiped out by Forza Portugal, and now they're able to just kind of get this going again. They've got the pop. They've almost got a Vac from Ryu here, who's just waiting to pop it, just tries to charge it. In the meantime, though, CR7, I think that's Phoenix, the blaster does get picked off. The Vac comes through. Soren's not able to find the Rainmaker just yet, and Prosper runs it all the way to the bank for a KO. And, I mean, what a way to open up our game 1 here. Really just blow for blow here on Rainmaker.
Can we also point out not only a KO but also a wipeout right at the end too? They killed all they killed all of the other all of Build Collectors as they won.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, so
I didn't quite
add on
like
top
wow.
of it, just to add on top of the force displayed by Forza Portugal immediately pun intended, I guess. Right off the bat, that was amazing. Like, at first, like you were saying, they were holding Build Collectors off. Then Build Collectors got a pretty strong push. And then Forza Portugal just came in and boom, slapped them right in the face and just jumped straight in. And just, it was fast and quick. And they just, the moment anybody on Build Collectors landed, boom, they were dead.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what happens, you know? Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, especially in Rainmaker, where the windshield is oftentimes just an Ink Vac walking forwards with the Rainmaker. It's kind of tough to contest that even on a wiper. And going on to Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track, this is a map where I think we're going to see a lot of these blaster players, Phoenix and Zog, be activated, as well as Ultra on that Dynamo. Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw Rainmaker on Humpback earlier today, but I mean, Zones is just a completely different beast, and the amount of paint that Dynamo outputs now, it's nothing to be underestimated.
Oh no, absolutely, and I am really excited to see what both teams do, like, because, like, as we saw, Forza Portugal did a really good job our first game right off the bat. But Build Collectors, like, nothing to scoff at with them. Like if we remember our match point for our last set, they did a really good job in the last second just winning. So it isn't like over for Build Collectors. They could turn it around. I'm excited to see what happens next here. Truly.
I'm very curious. I just looked at the next map over, and we're gonna talk about that one in a second, and I'm gonna question both of these team decisions. But like, yeah, it's going to be tough. We've seen Build Collectors come back from things, but when it happens to them, I mean, all that matters now is just how do you respond to something like that. They got a little bit overzealous on the push, you know, Soren trying to go for something and then eventually leading to a stagger and subsequent wipeout that just got them KO'd. We're running back the same comp for Forza Portugal, though, and now I'm just a little bit curious as to how they're going to deal with Ultra here. They don't have a lot of AoE to work with. They have an Ink Vac though, and I mean, we've seen that's just a catch-all response for just about everything right now.
I mean, yeah, and as you see, it's already out within the first 15 seconds as Force of Portugal is immediately taking mid. We have the E-Leader keeping them back, but it isn't enough to take the zone as Force of Portugal gets it down to 10 ticks already within the first 30 seconds of the match here, Soren. Not Soren's sake. Whoa, I looked up Soren's name. Whoa! Whoa! I got confused! Ah!
Soren went for a pretty big flank there. I think was able to find a couple of picks, and that's going to leave Bill Collectors to get the cap of the zone, the lead. Ultra's now just sitting behind the zone with that Dynamo Roller. Isn't able to contest the cap, but is able to contest the pick, and there it is for Bill Collectors. They have the player advantage. They're trying to get that zone, but Ryu with this Ink Vac in World on the 52 gal is trying to find something. Soren's trying to make sure that's shut down. Immediately finds two, looking for the third onto Phoenix, and everybody just keeps dropping. Bill Collectors, they are right at home on Humpback.
Loving this Dynamo. It has just so much room to just paint over, as well as the protection of all the hills, to where it's hard to hit, but the paint's still going over anyways, as they were able to get down all the way to 59, but Force of Portugal is taking back over as they get a good hold of mid. The E-Leader is trying their best to just hold off as Bill Collectors does respawn and get back into the game, but Force of Portugal is able to break through penalty and is starting to tick slowly down towards taking the lead here.
Yeah, and Prosper has been putting in work on this left-hand side, just taking the one with Sword and actually winning it, getting run down, but that doesn't matter if your pen hits every single shot, and that gives the lead back to Forza Portugal. It looks like everybody else, though, is kind of stuck. Eventually, I think that is Taxes that gets the pick onto the leader, but that gets Phoenix in here with that blaster, able to do so much damage, find a really difficult spot to force that leader into a rough situation, and then immediately turns around to find Ultra. They lose the cap, but they win the fight in mid, and that's just as important with two players down. I mean, Bill Collectors, they've been just constantly struggling here. Soren's trying to find something, but with Phoenix directly underneath, you don't want to contest a blaster right there.
No, not at all, especially with all the amount of obstacles you can hide behind. And a lot of these blasters have a huge advantage on this map because there's just so many places you can hide and just AoE over. You see this blaster come out, but doesn't get a lot of agency on the map as Bill Collectors once again takes over the map. We see this zone flip-flopping back and forth, purple, yellow, as both teams are doing a really good job at pushing back in, but then the other team's doing a great job at taking back over.
Yeah, and this is a really hard map to kind of retake. You have to rely on your specials, you have to rely on off angles and all these picks, and as I say that, the Ink Vac is able to find one. World does end up getting traded out by Soren's Ultra Stamp, and the throw is able to find Prosper. Soren on this Wiper has just been doing it all for Bill Collectors. The rest of the team is able to follow up, and it's just Ryu left on that 96 gal, trying to pop the vac, get Phoenix back in on that left-hand side, but nothing's quite coming from it. World is stuck in an awkward spot, and when you don't have both of your front lines providing that pressure, you can kind of just overload the vac or just deal with it with a Wiper. Ultra does end up getting traded out, but Zog is right there. They're close to a KO, finding the picks. Ryu's not able to do anything, and Bill Collectors, they answer back. They hold off the onslaught from Forza Portugal, and they're able to answer back. They bring us to a 1-1.
It is exactly like I was saying, Sig. Like I was saying right before this match started. We don't count out Bill Collectors yet. We saw how good they played earlier. And just because Force of Portugal did a really good job at sweeping them in the first match, doesn't mean that they were going to do it in the second. That makes me really excited for... Now, Sig, I believe you had something to say about this next match. So I actually would love to give the floor to you.
Why are we playing this in 2026? This is Clemblitz on Primewater Springs. This is just one of the maps that I thought we just agreed not to play after halfway through 2024, when we had a bunch of good Clemblitz maps immediately coming out. I don't know why we are. I guess it's because I'm assuming it's like a Bill Collector map pick, if I were to just immediately assume. No, it's Forza Portugal, where they have a good bit of range. I guess Ink Vac makes it much more playable, where you can kind of just walk forwards through the really tight choke points on this map. And maybe that's what Forza Portugal are banking on right now, especially with like the double gal, which is able to really outmaneuver out everything new, because the weapons are crazy strong right now. And maybe that's the angle they're approaching it from, but like, prepare to see a lot of really awkward fights because leader absolutely dominates here. We might be seeing a fairly passive game plan until Taxes gets picked off on the side of Bill Collectors here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are playing on bite-sized Moray towers here, so I mean, with that keeping that in mind, if anybody is here from the Splatoon 2 days, shout us out. We should have gotten Moray towers back. Anyways, I am on the same page as you. I don't know how I feel about this, but I am excited to see. Look, I'm actually of the opinion that we need to be more like the JP scene, and we need to just play more maps and modes. I feel like we do. I really do. There are some that I feel like should be abolished completely, but I feel like there are some that we need to be more lenient on. So I feel like we will get better as players if we learn the maps better. Yes, the maps suck. We know this. But I feel like, point your guns at me all you want, I feel like we will be better players for it.
You know what? That's a very fair approach to have. I'm just very frustrated at seeing it. And we're switching over off of the Ink Vac to the Crab Tank. Another immensely powerful special here, just able to kind of watch over everything and hold crazy amounts of space, even after the AoE nerf on that heavy little explosive shot that it has. It's still a fantastic special, really solid at outputting just about everything. And with Ryu on it, I mean, we've heard about the come up of Ryu for months now, and I mean, they're here to stay. The Crab Tank comes out, the Ultra Stamp drops from Soren, and I mean, the Crab gets shredded immediately. Shout out Taxes on the leader, great threat assessment there. But you saw everybody from Bill Collectors just had to back off because of that threat of the Crab Tank, and now Forza Portugal, they're in a pretty solid spot for it now. They have a good bit of mid control. They're still having to respect the leader though, and this is where problems can arise.
Well, yeah, both teams do have a ball, and one team does have both teams have a little bit of claims that they can push forward. So honestly, it is really about getting your picks and taking control of mid here, which honestly, it feels like mid is a good chunk of like a 1/3 of this map. So honestly, if you want to push forward, you have to take good control of a majority of the map. We see the Ultra Stamp come out here and flank back around on the Slosher, making Forza Portugal push back as Bill Collectors inches slowly closer and closer to getting that ball in the basket there, Sig.
Oh, and it looks like they almost had a flank going for them from Zog, but immediately just turns around. Forza Portugal is able to just take advantage of the lack of space held by Bill Collectors on that left-hand side, dunk a power climb in, and we're again seeing these really high-scoring games like we did on Barnacle in the previous set. You know, we're already down to 50 points. It looks like teams have been doing a lot better so far at just making sure they have economy, making sure they're able to rotate the clams out and start scoring in really high numbers. The leader's not able to find anything. I just realized that the leader has been... The leader is a different name, different player, I don't know. But it's still Taxes, and they're able to eventually get a couple of picks, knock it 100-0, but down to 32 points here, Slat. And it's just not a really easy spot to come back from, regardless of like how much time's left in the game.
No, that was a really, really strong push from Forza Portugal. With, like you said, yeah, 3 minutes left on the board. I mean, look, they do have 2 balls. That'll get them down to 60, and if they, like... We saw Bill Collectors win that one Climbless match on their first game. They did just start throwing climbs in. They do have the opportunity to get it all the way down. And they do have the time to. But do they have the agency? Do they have the paint? As we see the strikes are coming out immediately on basket as a ball comes out and Cheaty throws it in and breaks the barrier once again here, Say.
Strikes come soaring in, and there's another barrier broken. Looks like Ryu is trying to score a couple more clams, maybe get more value out of it, because when you toss a power clam and you don't have a lot of economy, it looks like Ryu's just trying to even extend that lead down to 28. Goodbye all of that penalty, and now Bill Collectors, even though you did stop and the lead wasn't expanded much, you did lose a power climb. You lost a fair bit of economy. Almost a net 0 for them here. And, I mean, they do have a ton of space to make up for it. Soren has 6 to go, or 6 to score. And if they want to jump that pity in, I mean, they will get very close to that lead, down to 36, just like about 3 more clams. But immediately, Forza Portugal are swarming the box, swarming that little safe haven. And forcing that leader to either go down or jump out, and they chose to try and fight and got picked off for it. Forza Portugal, they have even more space.
Yeah, absolutely. It's giving them a chance. Like like I was warning, like, Bill Collectors did catch up quite a bit, and if they get another ball in, they do have a chance of taking the lead. They just have to get more clams in. However, like, the strikes come out, and Chidi once again with the ball in. Kidding, penalty broken immediately down to 1 point, and honestly, with 1 minute left on the board, they do get wiped after getting that ball in, which does give Bill Collectors a chance here to get a push going.
Yeah, they've got an opportunity. They don't have much space to work with, especially with Phoenix on that left-hand side on the slosher. Charging those strikes, able to get a pick onto Zog and force all the Bill Collectors to kind of back up. You put World in a really solid flank spot and just able to hold a lot of space, but Ultra's immediately able to turn around and find that pick. Now Bill Collectors can finally start accelerating, but here's Ryu again with that crab take. The Ultra Stamp comes through with the throw, and Soren just walks immediately to take that space. The rest of the team, though, isn't able to follow up. World's on another flank here. Does anybody know about it? It looks like now they do, but it's just too late. Ultra's not able to find anything. Gets one for their troubles. Make it a second. Actually, the jump in from Zog with the splashdown. Everybody's coming back in. They have the power clam ready, but only 10 seconds left, Slat, and in overtime, you need to make this one chance you got to score count.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying, hey, so this will get it down to 12 penalty. So they need about 5 to 6 clams, I think, to take the lead. So if they are a little patient here, if they can get in and get the clam ball in as soon as possible and just slowly keep it open, they can take the lead. But it doesn't seem like Force of Portugal is going to let that happen as they go through and they absolutely dominate and sweep through Bill Collectors, taking game 3 here.
No, there's a last-ditch attempt there from the side of Bill Collectors. Didn't quite have any picks, but when you're running low on time, you've got to just make something happen. Anything is good if it gets you to score. Unfortunately, they weren't even able to get there. They were stuck on the ramp. That choke point, when you have a crab tank, a snipe rider, blaster, all of that just staring at you, or not blaster, slosher, all that just staring at you, chipping you out, making sure you can't push forwards without risking your life and the game off of that. You're just not able to do anything. It's just so difficult to kind of break. You need to hope that Taxes or Ultra can get one of those one-shots, can get one of those one-off picks that you just desperately need if you are Bill Collectors here. And that just didn't happen. And because of that, the offense fell apart. They tried to make a scramble play, and it just didn't work out when all 4 players of Forza Portugal are staring at you. That puts us over to an interesting spot here on tower control on Mako Mart. Very neutral map, but still, I mean, I don't know how to feel about Bill Collectors going into this one.
I can agree with that. I mean, both of them have the blaster, and this is one of those maps where it's like, hey, rollers and blasters pretty good on these maps. But also, I can see why you would be concerned for them, because Forza Portugal, I feel like with the current comps, has the advantage, absolutely, on Mako. Big fan of Mako, and honestly hoping that we go to game 5, because I also like the next one. But we'll get to that one later.
Yep, and it looks like it's not Taxes that's actually playing the leader. That is Fizney on the leader. Probably should have guessed from the name change, but it is Fizney, so a different leader player coming in, and now we've got no comp changes from the side of Bill Collectors. No. They're sticking with what they're going for. Phoenix did switch over to that slosher though, and I mean, it's from the slosher to the blaster. Now, I mean, on tower control, I mean, blasters is one of the easiest to pilot and strongest main weapons you can pick here. Just the AoE on the tower is so big. Mako Mart has so many ledges you can play around, but Ryu ends up going down pretty early, as does Zog and World. And so far, I mean, constantly trading out. It means Phoenix gets behind, does get chipped out by Ultra, and eventually picked off. And Prosper's not in a great spot either. Eventually does find the pick onto Soren, but still between a rock and a hard place on this bottom right, is forced to jump out. The rest of the team's able to kind of walk forwards with that space held, but it's not looking great as Phoenix ends up going down.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill Collectors honestly have a good chance to get a good start here in the first minute. They just have to really break through this checkpoint. I mean, they have a chance there with 2 on Force of Portugal already down. They do break through the first checkpoint within the first minute, which honestly is giving them a chance for a really strong lead as Force of Portugal continues to stay about 2 down actively. They're staggering a bit as Zog is taking advantage of these ledges without that blaster going absolutely nuts. And we switch to the enemy blaster, who is trying to use the same ledges to their advantage, as we are already to the final checkpoint with Bill Collectors, we see a Splashdown come out, and they're back on and they break through, and Sig, they're gonna knock out!
What on earth just happened? Like, what? I don't know what to think of bill collectors here. I just simply don't understand. You struggle in the in one game and then you immediately just steamroll the next. It's happened twice in a row now. Does this team just need to get like punched in the face to win a game every time? I don't quite get it, but it's working for them. I mean, that was sheer dominance. They were able to get the picks they needed, get the stagger, force Prosper into a really uncomfortable spot, and then the rest of Forza Portugal had to kind of drop and deal with that and just deal with the space that they had, kind of sit in the bed they made almost. And I mean, when you're playing awkward Splatoon into a leader and a Dynamo, that's not a winning formula, and Bill Collectors just capitalized off that really well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the Pokemon move where like it I was gonna say Sucker Punch, but like Forza Portugal won the game before, so that doesn't work. The goal is like you're gonna attack you. It only works
like Mirror Coat
if the enemy is going to attack.
Like Mirror Coat and Counter. Those are the two that Wobbuffet use.
Yeah, they pull in a wall, but Wobbuffet in here. It's absolutely like I was so like explaining how that they were staggering so much that I blinked and they broke through 2 checkpoints.
Yeah, and sometimes that just happens on Mako Mart too. They're not very long-lasting checkpoints, and if you get a couple of picks and just the space that you need, it works out fairly well. Looks like Fizney is going to switch over to that splatter scope yet again for the Ink Vac. Let's see if this is any different from the previous game. Obviously, Bill Collector's got a pretty solid push to 38. On the first one, just not able to close out, not able to get the defense going. Can Forza Portugal answer back after that emphatic Game 4? Are they able to kind of respond like they did in the first one? Let's take a look. Already no real changes outside that splatter scope, though.
Yeah, no, everything looks pretty the same. I mean, we did go back to having both gals, which we haven't had since around the beginning of the game, where we had a splash from Mio. But enough of that. Both teams go one down as Bill Collectors has a majority of control on, but that isn't going to stop Forza Portugal from throwing out a killer whale, which Bill Collectors is going to immediately counter with an Ultra Stamp, which it looks like, honestly, Bill Collectors is doing a pretty good job at holding off. But we see Mio over here trying to sneak up and get some picks on a flank, but Bill Collectors ends up picking up the Rainmaker and losing it immediately here, Sig.
Yep, and I mean, Soren is still trying to make everything happen here on the Wiper, is able to get one, forces everybody to kind of just clump, and even with the cooler there, they're not in a position to deal with Soren still maintaining all of that space for Bill Collector. Zog does end up going down to Ryu, but Soren again has that entire left side for Ultra to walk up down to 70 points, almost gets the check, but with everybody from Forza Portugal jumping in, they're not, like, they're able to respond, and Bill Collectors are not able to get to that checkpoint. They still have a lot of space to work with. The Ink Vac from Ryu as well is going to be huge here, as long as they can deal with Soren on that Wiper.
Absolutely, and like you said, hey, if they're able to do that, they have the absolutely, and they were not able to do that.
Nope.
You can see. But they are still able to keep pushing, and it looks like they are able to get the lead and checkpoint here. But, and honestly, still able to hold off pretty strong. I mean, we have the Dynamo here trying to push out, but honestly, they're still pushing for really strong. However, the VAC does come out and does end up pushing them out, not really giving them a chance to do much more there.
Yeah, the VAC forces everybody below the ramp, and now you're kind of stuck where you were before you broke this checkpoint, where you're not able to get anything going. You might need to wait for the Ink Vac. World is trying to walk forwards into a safer spot, just something more comfortable, rather than just on that downhill slope. Gets picked off for it, so does Prosper, and so does Phoenix. And now Bill Collectors, they've got a little bit of a push to go for them. It looks like Ryu is just opting to stabilize that left-hand side. Gives a little bit of the right for the rest of the team to kind of rotate for in a safer position, but Phoenix is already dropping in with that Ink Vac, able to find Ultra, looking for that second onto Fizney. There it is, and the VAC is able to find the third. Soren, again, this time not behind, but in the very front line fighting the world, and Forza Portugal, they're able to hold this defense fairly easily, almost, honestly.
You're right, honestly, if they just keep up the paint output, they can hold it really well. I mean, they do need to look out for that Dynamo because it has a lot of paint spread, a lot of ability to take space, and as we see the E-Leader, like you said, I believe our first game of the day, that combo with the Dynamo and E-Leader, I wanted to point out, I mean, I wouldn't call it a backline, but like people will sometimes use Dynamo as a pseudo backline. So I feel like having it in the E leader and like the more of the midline power of this Dynamo out at the same time to like combo off of and complement each other, it really is working in Bill Collector's favor here, as they not only break the checkpoint but take the lead by 10 points here, Sig, with a minute and 30 seconds left on the board.
That was a ballsy play to go for on that other on the much less taken path. Just very dangerous, especially if you don't get anything going after that pop. But Bill Collector's able to come back, able to get that push down to 43. Not a large lead, but it's a lead nonetheless. And now you're able to set up for the defense. Ryu gets picked off. There's a wipeout for Forza Portugal. I believe Zog got 2 there on the blaster, just decimating the field here. And now you can kind of just set up. You have a minute left. You have a decent lead. A Charger and a Blaster and a Dynamo that can kind of get picks. Soren's running around, just having a great time on the Wiper. And, I mean, now you can kind of just sit the Rainmaker here unless you get a Wipeout, unless, you know, Forza Portugal gets antsy. And with the Hammer, with the Vac coming through as well, with the Whales, everything's getting popped, and they're hungry. They want more. The Vac is able to trade out, but down to 33 points. That's a pretty solid lead. The pop goes through, and that delays for maybe half a second more, but with the Wipeout, Forza Portugal, they have a second. They've been given a lifeline here, Slat.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they're going to try their best to take it. With 20 seconds left on the board, they really do have to play a little carefully. I say carefully, but our custom blaster does throw themselves out there with a splashdown and gets in a blaster fight with the other blaster and is able to win and get him taken down. Oh, no, goes down. My apologies. As Mio and the Rainmaker Chidi is getting stuck in the corner here, unfortunately. We do see the Vac come out, but is it going to be enough here, Sig? As we're going to enter overtime in the last second. Chidi pushing forward. We got World hiding in the corner. It isn't enough. They're slowly inching forward more. They just need 21 points here, Sig, in overtime.
They just need a Vac. They just need Ryu on the Vac. They're not able to find it just yet. But with 3 players, 2 players, 3 players ending up getting picked off. Bill Collectors, they clutch up eventually. They may have gotten hit in the face, but they get back up. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about if you can take that Rainmaker and run it further than the other team. They have put themselves into grand finals. They have taken the 5th game. And, I mean, wow. What a nail-biter of a Game 5.
I will say, Sig, there are two things certain in life: death and taxes, and the Bill Collectors came to collect. 2 games in a row, back-to-back, winners semis and winners finals here. Amazing showing from Bill Collectors. And also, I don't want to count out Forza Portugal either. They did phenomenal. Both teams, this was an amazing set to watch, and we saw like 2 very strong teams play here.
But, I mean, looking back, Bill Collectors, they were able to answer back every opportunity they needed. I want to highlight Soren on that Wiper throughout the entire Game 5. Just kind of had a field day in these high-tense situations. Didn't let the pressure get to them and really forced the Portugal into tough spots, into spots where you have to deal with the Wiper, or you have to like let the Rainmaker walk forwards for an extra 10 points. And that's just not easy spots to be put in. The switch over from Fizney onto the Vac Charger is so huge there as well. You still have that one-shot threat that they're used to playing around, but now you have more utility to work with. And then on defense, it's just so hard to push Charger, Blaster, Dynamo. It's not fun, especially on the low ground. Taking that left side is nearly impossible sometimes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But they were absolutely able to show off their strengths there with, like, we've seen multiple games where they've just absolutely dominated the Mako Mart game, the Rainmaker game, the Clamblitz game earlier. And I'm excited to see what they do in Grands. But before that, up next, we have Losers Finals here coming up. Losers, oh, sorry, no, my bad. We have Losers Bracket Semis coming up next. So we have another set more than I thought we were. What is going on your head there, Sig? What's going on there? What's that?
I realized I was definitely not built for this. I was not familiar with Bill Collector's game. Clearly, after Game 4, I was like, this team frustrates me. But after Game 5, I mean, that was inspiring. You know, that was something to watch. That was something that we were able to witness. And I'm impressed by Bill Collectors. They send Forza Portugal, our top seed, down to the lower bracket. And we have quite some time before losers semifinals from the looks of it. We've got 2 sets to go currently. Fading Away versus Set to Unite. And then Eclipse versus Flame Scion. Is it Flame Scion or Flamesion? I don't know. One of them. But they're both 1-0 right now, and you know we've got some time. So I want to in light of the World Cup, in light of the top seed's name of Forza Portugal, who why are you cheering for Portugal? Why? I don't understand personally. Because I'm pretty sure no, why are they? Because like I guess it's Ronaldo, but I don't think any of the players on that team are Portuguese.
Who's cheering? Oh, chat?
The Forza Portugal, I'm assuming, is a bunch of Team Portugal fans.
The name of the team.
Yes.
Why? Why? Okay, so I'm not very sports savvy. So can you educate me?
Okay.
I'm not very.
World Cup is happening right now, right?
Yeah.
Bunch of the best soccer teams in the world and the U.S. are here, playing soccer. And
Soccer.
You know, football. This is a EU tournament. It's football. So I'm just confused because I don't think any of these players are Portuguese. Maybe they're just really big Ronaldo fans.
They could be.
Which honestly, fair play. I'm a big Messi guy myself, but you know, if you're a Ronaldo fan, sure.
I want to be.
It's just I wonder how the draw against DRC felt.
Oh, gosh, I cannot participate in this conversation. I felt so.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I'm just so confused. It happens.
No, it's fair.
Anyways, we're gonna cut the break real quick because we've got a lot of time here before loser semis. We will see you all in a little bit with that set.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today!
All right.
So what if instead of staying on break after the ads, we play Wordle, guys? I've already done Wordle, but Sig and Jorian are currently going to play through it If you haven't done today's world and you want to play it, do it right now.
I'll exist for this because I'm doing the water deals.
Let's go.
Yes.
I'm currently
Welcome to
three words in, and it's not looking too good.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you got in 5 flat?
I got it on the 5th. Honestly, on the 4th, I'm not proud of myself. I'm thinking I could, if I thought a little longer, I could have gotten it in 4.
Damn.
But I got it in 5.
What do you have, Seg, right now? What do you have?
Not much.
Damn.
I'm trying to think because I completely like abandoned my strategy after the first word, and I'm a little bit screwed here.
Oh, hey, look, we have a match, by the way.
Hooray! No, but guys,
we have a set?
Yeah, we have a set.
Oh
but-
shoot!
We have a set,
It was
but
both 2 O's.
it was both 2 O's. They literally, the funny thing is as well too is one of them was taking too long. Like one of them was on game 2. One of them was on game 3. So that's the funny thing. Well, they could wait. They're gonna take a long time to get.
I've got the last letter right now.
Yeah, they're gonna take a long time to get into the room anyway. So like, we have time. We all know.
We have a sec. We have a sec.
Yeah, yes, we know split fires. And we know how we love using every single map mode, aka the same map mode. Not really bad.
Maybe it's this. Oh, okay. I might get it in 5 here.
You might get in 5.
Okay, what do you think it is, Sig?
Maybe. I'm struggling at the moment. I'm not gonna give any answers because I don't know where Jiraiyan's at here.
I have.
But,
No, you're good. You're good.
You can see on stream what I have.
Oh,
So-
I don't have stream open.
Okay, it makes sense.
I do.
What would it be?
That's what I said, and then I got it. I was like, no, that makes sense.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yep, I got it in 5. It happens.
Congrats.
Oh.
Oh.
There is an O.
Yeah, I know. I can't
Oh.
think.
I have the stream open now.
I
There
got-
might be an O.
E.
Okay.
Hey, there might be an E.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I
Hey,
swear
can you
they-
get in the 4?
I appreciate. I
Hey,
like
can you
where your
get in
head's
the
at. I like where your head's
I
at.
love where
here.
your head's
This is,
at.
this is so funny, but this is so bad. 'Cause
Uh,
I'm gonna be either in the middle, you guys, or it's gonna be separate.
I don't know. Don't sleep on this word. You know.
That's the thing.
Sleep on it. Hey.
welcome to 2026, when people don't know what English is. So like, what's gonna be the fourth? Like, what's the is the other?
See, I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but I feel like you know what this word is.
I think everybody knows what this word is. Like I feel like people have heard this word before. Like
it's a fun word.
frequently.
I think it's a fun word. I
don't know. It's so. I'm trying to like give a hint without giving a hint. That's a word.
That's a word, I guess. Sure.
What the hell am I looking at?
Who
I don't know.
knows?
Excuse me.
But,
excuse me.
I guess the only hint I can give is like don't sleep on this word.
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it.
That's not a hint. Sig, that's not a hint.
It's-
I feel like in my head it is, and that could just be because I was listening to some music earlier, but that might just be me.
Damn.
Gosh, you're so close yet so far from this word.
You got
That
it.
really is
Trust.
the issue.
Gosh, you're so close yet so far. Oh my goodness.
That E really is that.
I believe.
It me not getting the out loud there. It just.
I love this is so funny.
it-
Toby.
I believe names aren't usually.
Come on, Ryan.
Man,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's so-
I'm clutching onto the edge of my
I
seat.
believe in my goat.
It's so funny because
I believe in my goat, Ryan.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, no word.
Quick, say words. Toxics. That's not a word either.
Well,
Toxic is a word though, but I don't think that's it.
Well,
No.
we'll wait.
It's
well,
not. That wouldn't work. No, that's not it. It's literally not it.
Toxin
It's
is
literally
not
not.
spelled that
It's
way.
not an E.
That's the funny
That
part.
is not how an E.
Yeah,
Also, an E doesn't belong there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide what would be that word. What would be the middle letter? That's literally is the
I don't
main
know.
thing that's going me over. I'm trying to figure out what the middle letter is.
Okay, you've put a lot of words down. I can confidently say you have, on 2 separate words, put the correct middle letter in and the correct last letter in, but not at the same time. I am comfortable saying that.
Yeah, you were very close to solving it.
Well,
yeah,
just
twice.
based on your previous guesses.
This is so painful. Well, there is still
This
the
music
set.
is also fun.
Yeah,
There might be a set.
Yeah, there is a set right now. They're almost getting ready. So while that's happening,
Hey, if they're ready, we can pause, and then during our next break, we can
come
try
back
again,
to World after the set.
Yeah, no. Welcome to
All right. Well, anyways, welcome back to
back.
Paddling 374.
I'm Sig. Wait,
That's me.
That's you. I'm Slack, joined by Sig. We are doing losers bracket semis. We're back on a best of 3. Up first, hey, we're back on Rainmaker.
No, hold on, wait a second.
Oh!
This
Yes!
yeah.
Yes!
Wait a second.
Let's go,
My
Jarian.
token. I was gonna say
goat.
my token Splatoon streamer, Jarian. My token Splatoon streamer.
Okay, now
I was trying to make a sleep token reference. I don't think it worked.
I don't know anything about sleep tokens. Anyways, moving on. Back
That's
to the
fair.
set.
I only know like 3 songs. But anyways, we're back to Paddling Pool 375. We've got lower bracket semifinals. We've got Fading Away versus Flame Scion. Or Flamesian.
Scion.
We're gonna figure that one
You're
out.
right, it's Scion.
Okay, Flame Scion. But we've got a couple of fairly known North American players on the
Is
side
that
of Fading
Hawaiian?
Away. That is Hawaiian, the bow player on the Wellstring to
I
kick
love
things off
Hawaiian.
on Humpback Pump Track on Rainmaker. Probably the strongest Rainmaker weapon right now, just because of its object damage. Its area control is outstanding. It even has the Ultra Stamp and just so many damage combos that it can work off to pop the rain shield. Gives so much map control because of that. And so far, I mean, Fading Away is doing a pretty good job so far. DZ's able to find one saving, looking for a pick on the other side of the map. Trades out with the Zaps. Sarah is able to is trying to find some space, but has to jump out with the Tacticaler. Hawaiian has the Ultra Stamp, not quite going to find anything. Actually gets picked off by, I think, Karima. And now Flame Scion, they have some space to work with. They have the player advantage too, but they keep trading it away here on this, as soon as they try and walk past mid. It's a really tough spot to be in here.
Absolutely, but Flame Scion does have a really good hold of mid right now. They could have a little better of him, but honestly, they just really have to get 1 or 2 more picks and then just push a little forward. But honestly, both teams, I feel like, are going a little aggressive, as Flame Scion does pick up the Rainmaker, but immediately as they do, goes 3 down except for the Rainmaker, giving Fading Away the opportunity to knock them out.
When Woomy with some nice movement there, just able to kind of clean things up. Suction Bombs are going to find the pick onto not the Rainmaker, but the Wellstring, as well as DZ, and that gives the Blaster of Kirima a little bit of an opportunity to walk forward. Sarah gets picked off by the Torpedo, and it's just the Splattershot Pro versus Woomy, who gets the jumps in, gets the Rainmaker pop. DZ walks forward in the mid, and now we've got a lot of space for Fading Away. The Splashdown comes through from Kirima, able to find Woomy, but DZ is immediately there, has to back out. Hawaiian just trying to space again with this Wellstring. It's got some really good zone control, especially on Humpback Pump Track. You can't walk forwards here, but the Rainmaker shield does get reset, and I mean, that gives Fading Away so much space.
Absolutely, and it gives them a chance to push forward once again. We have the Decav coming in here, trying to flank, isn't really getting a good chance to, as the Ultra Stamp from Woomy goes forward, along with Woomy, does unfortunately go down, but followed up by a Splashdown, which gives them a chance to get all the way past to a wipeout and on to the checkpoint. Fading Away taking our game 1 here immediately in loser bracket semis. I can speak English.
What a dominant game from Fading Away. I really like their comp for that. I mean, Hawaiian obviously is probably the best bow player in the West. And just shows why Wellstring is so potent on this mode. On this map especially, it's just, crazy object damage. It's got the Ultra Stamp that provides cover for the Rainmaker. It can be thrown at people, and it just does everything you kind of want in Rainmaker. Flame Scion, they had a couple of opportunities. They had a decent shot, but again, they kind of got overzealous a few times. They tried pushing when they didn't have the space to, or didn't have the players to, and they got really punished for that and just weren't able to outpop players like Woomy or Hawaiian. And when you can't outpop almost ever, you're not in for a good time on Rainmaker. Now, going over to zones on Haggle, little bit of a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm not gonna lie. This is the one game I'm like, I don't remember any of their weapons, dog. And I was trying to see like what. I don't know why. I think the Leg of Sleep is catching up, but it's fine. Depending on what we have here, I mean, Fading Away might have another strong hold. I want to see the weapons before I give my opinion, though.
Fading Away, I think, are going to be running largely the same thing. Probably the Incline Tri-Stringer. No, we get the enrichment time for Hawaiian. Okay, we get the Bulbs Tri-Stringer. The Whimsy is back with the Jetpack, and there wasn't much in the previous game that can outrange the Jetpack, or at least pick it out of the sky. But now with XF on that Snipe Rider, it's going to be much more difficult to kind of get value out of those Jetpacks. So far, though, Woomy already gets picked off. Nobody in control of the zone yet, and Hawaiian not able to paint it while in the Jetpack. Just trying to just look for the fight, finds one onto XF, and there's one more. Karima just tries to walk forwards, but unfortunately nobody's there to follow up. Eventually, though, it looks like Lou is able to find 1-2, but Hawaiian's left standing and Fading Away. They get the early cap.
Amazing early cap and good start here off the back from Fading Away. But Flamesign is able to hop in, immediately flop over, get them penalty, and start chopping down. Fading Away is knocked down to 3 down right away, giving Flamesign the opportunity to get cooler here. And we've got a bubble here that we could use to set up and push in the base as Flamesign does take the lead. Honestly, we see, oh, here comes Hawaiian's, like you said, enrichment time. It's time for Hawaiian to play in his enclosure with his Jetpack. We get 1 pick, 2 picks as they jump back, and the aura is activated.
I mean, the enrichment time works especially if you find a double like that. You know, just able to get the rest of your team in. The rest of Fading Away running up the right side of the map where nobody was as well, just gets all of the space in the world that you want, as well as a pick onto XF, onto the Charger. Hawaiian provides the jump ins for Saving, who finds 2. And I mean, with the jump in from Sarah, it's looking a little bit dire for Flame Scion. They lose the lead here pretty handily, and Hawaiian's looking to get aggressive with that Jetpack ready. Just waiting for somebody on Flame Scion to overstep. Not quite going to work out just yet, but the cooler is up for Fading Away. They can maybe force a fight. The Jetpack is up. The Crab as well. It gets shredded immediately. Hawaiian is still alive. Karima goes down. It's 1 for 1 so far. Pack is up. And Flame Scion, they just don't have the space to work with. 20 points left. And XF goes down. This could just be a KO here, Slat. We've got the hammer coming through. The splashdown's not on the zone. And it looks just clean as a whistle for Fading Away on game 2.
Absolutely, as you do say that, Fading Away takes your losers bracket semis with a clean, quick, crisp 2-0. That was quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. My bad. I almost thought this was about to win.
That was
It's not super bad.
I know what you were gonna say, and like, bro.
Wait, what did you know? Wait, hold on.
I'm not gonna say it on comms. I don't want to say it either. But like, fair. I mean, Fading Away after the first retake didn't have that much of an issue. You know, they won the couple of fights that they needed to on zones. They won it basically the same thing on Rainmaker. Those are 2 modes where games just end as quickly as that. And Fading Away, they were just able to sink their chances when they needed to. Flame Scion kind of struggled going into that, and you kind of do. I mean, it kind of just happens sometimes. Again, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, and unfortunately, Flame Scion was the bug in this one.
Sig, what just happened to my screen?
We get the maps for our losers finals, which is about to happen. You're getting Forza Portugal versus
Fading Away, which both of these teams are very strong. I was just surprised when I saw like 5 added, and then I was like, "Whoa, we're doing a best of 9."
Yep.
Like,
guess what? All the rest of paddling, everybody's playing at least 15 maps. This is just how we're doing it now. Oh dear.
Oh,
that is tower control on Hammerhead.
No,
not the double tower control. Please, no. Not again. But, yep, on Hammerhead.
We go. So it's the triple tower control. You go.
Oh no. But anyways, for real this time, we've got Fading Away versus Forza Portugal. After that game from Fading Away, I am really curious to see how they do. These teams met in winners semis, and it was a Game 5 win for Forza Portugal. I'm hoping we see a run back of that. I'm so curious and very excited, to be completely honest, to see what we get here. Kicking things off though on Undertow Tower Control. This is a map mode where Bo can kind of just struggle sometimes. You know, it's not the strongest in the world. Obviously, like when you have Prosper on the pencil on the other side of the map, you're not getting nearly as much value charging the cooler and also just easily contesting everything. You're gonna have to get creative here if you're Hawaiian.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm really excited because Forza Portugal, they did get knocked down here in the losers, but they, like we said, they were playing really strong earlier, and these guys are vying to get into grands, so let's see which one of them do it to fight against our taxes. Paying bills, right?
Yep,
bill collectors.
It's King, but like slightly different, I think.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to press 2 buttons and see the name, but I wanted to try and I failed, so I'll take that out.
Yeah, it happens, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about losers finals right now, and I mean I'm very curious to see what happens here. We've got 2 incredibly strong teams who have done some pretty good runs so far.
That's what I was gonna say. Anyways,
I just sorry, I read that message. That's not what I was thinking you were gonna say, but like that's fire. Anyways, we're going into losers bracket finals. We're getting the lobby up pretty quickly. We're just setting it up, and I'm again just curious to see. We've seen Forza Portugal. They're pretty content with running just Gal, Phil AOE that Phoenix runs, Prosper on pen, and then Rayu picks a support shooter. Usually that's 96, sometimes Splash depending on the map. Really like that idea. Into fading away especially, it's going to be tough. They've already had to deal with One Wiper, but Wumi is cut from similar cloth as Soren, where Ro will just like walk forward sometimes and get 3, and that's going to be tough for Forza Portugal to deal with.
Absolutely. I mean, I honestly, I think I'm with you. I think it's gonna be harder for fading away here. But like, I feel like I don't know. I need to see the first game. The thing for me, if when it comes to teams I haven't really seen before, I need to see what I'm working with before I have opinions. And we've seen them both play separately, but not against each other, and that is very important to me. And I'm also tired right now. That's my excuse. Anyways, so as we're waiting here, we do have a Wordle to finish, Dorian. So no, you finished it. I forgot. You got it right as we finished. No, we got it. Token. We all got it. Hey, we all got it in 5.
This is true. A lot of 5s going around.
This is epic.
What a shout out 5's the clone trooper actually from Star Wars. I don't know why I just thought of him.
Is that their name is 5? His name is 5s?
Yeah.
Like F-I-V-E?
CT 5555, yeah. 5s.
Interesting.
He was the GOAT. I remember the one episode where he found out about like Order 66 and stuff. Sorry, that just like jumped into my head. And man, Star Wars is so cool. But anyways, we're on Splatoon.
Nerd moment. It's fine. No,
Yeah.
it's okay. Hey. Let's get
Do you
back
like Star
on
Wars,
Splatoon. I'm not like a huge like mega fan, but like if I see it on, I'm like, ooh, I like this. This is interesting. Big fan of the big fan of the Battlefront games for the PlayStation 2, Battlefront 1 and 2.
Ooh, you're speaking my language. I love Battlefront 2, like the 2005 one.
Why do Splatoon finals when we can hop on both these teams on Battlefront 2? Yes,
true, guys. We're canceling the tournament.
Yes. No more. Yeah, fading away. Forza Portugal. Pull out your PS2s. It's time to hop on Battlefront 2.
It's on Steam too. You can. I'm sure everybody has a laptop that can run it. I used to run it on like this old 2010s. Like
Isn't it on Switch?
It's on. I don't know if it's on the Switch, but I know it's on Steam.
I own it. Hold on. It's on Switch. Wait a minute.
Oh, this is huge.
1 and 2 is on Switch.
This is huge.
Know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard the ports are like dog though, so
it happens.
Don't get
but
too excited.
Anyways,
yeah.
we're getting ready. We're going into the lobby. Tower control on Undertow to kick things off. Then we've got zones on Robo Ramen, and it's back.
Okay,
it's
slightly
back.
off topic, but it is about Undertow. I do need to. Oh, it is back. The ghoul, the phantom.
The the Brine Water Spring. I know one very specific Blue Sky user will be very happy about this.
Hey, now, don't mention them. Hey.
What do you mean? Shout out Brine Water Springs.
I'm kidding.
Actually, two Blue Sky users will be happy. Shout out Clam Blitz as well.
Bro, oh my gosh, yes! Oh my gosh, they should say something together. I don't know. They should have an announcement. I don't know.
Maybe we might have to.
Dance. Fusion dance.
This is what happens when we have this happen. But anyways,
when it takes too long to get in the gosh darn lobby,
it happens. Welcome to Splatoon. We're fighting everything right now, whether it's online or just, you know, getting into the lobby on time. Sometimes you play X rank and sometimes the game goes to overtime. But we're loading in slowly but surely. We've got tower control and Undertow. What were you gonna say about Undertow earlier?
Wasn't there like I know this happened like a couple months ago, it's so old news, but wasn't there like you'd hop on and like it would be an older version of Undertow that you'd play on? Like it wouldn't be like the cubbies on the sides wouldn't be there. Like I saw people on like they'd be on open and they'd be like, hey, Undertow is not correct. Like you know how they added the cubbies to the left and right of mid?
Yeah.
Like somebody got on and they were like that match they weren't there. Like it
That's
was like an
so
older version
odd.
of Undertow. Yeah.
I didn't know that was
but
a
enough
thing.
about that. Yeah, no. But enough about that. We have a pretty stalemate start here. We see Hawaiian back on that inkjet bow, but they do immediately go. Both teams immediately go 2 down as we push a little closer to the first checkpoint, but not able to get through it here. Say.
Nope, and the hammer from Woomy comes through. It forces Prosper back a little bit. There's Phoenix going down as well. This Wiper putting in work on the left-hand side again. Just Wipers really love just dancing around that left-hand side, being really hard to hit, really good at kiting around that block, and so far has worked out pretty well for Fading Away. They've got DZ in there with the splashdown, finding another pick onto World, I believe. Rayu is going to have to back off, chipped out for 70, but with Phoenix on the other side of the map, Saving is immediately collapsing. And, I mean, that's the early fight win for Fading Away. They get that first checkpoint. They've got a cooler pretty soon, and with the jetpack at the ready from Hawaiian, this is where they're going to have to put in a lot of work, especially on the second check. It's so hard to take sometimes.
Absolutely. And that is something I wanted to say I do like it about Undertow, is the checks do feel like they are pretty equally balanced every other check, whether it be for offense or defense, giving both teams an opportunity to get the pushes that they need if the skill level is high enough. As you see, Fading Away was able to break through the first 2 checkpoints here, but was knocked back by Forza Portugal, which is giving them a chance to get here as they do go 2 down, but honestly, pretty much like a stalemate is what it's looking like today.
Yeah, I mean, Fading Away, I mean, they'll take the stalemate for now, obviously. They have that lead. They are building some specials to try and get a push going. Hawaiian's close to that jetpack. There's the cooler from Saving. Able to get one with, I think, DZ on that blaster. It tries to trade out, though. And so Woomy is down. Prosper has to back off, and nobody's really in position to contest the tower being taken now. The missiles are up. World is in, able to find one. The splashdown gets picked off. DZ is gone. Woomy is the only one left, and getting just isolated by Phoenix is pretty tough. Hawaiian is able to get back and doesn't have the pack quite yet, but is able to get it into that top left position, a very important defensive spot to be in. But when you have Phoenix and World just clearing all the space on the other side of the map, you kind of have to divert your attention. That's a free second checkpoint for Forza Portugal.
No, absolutely phenomenal play from the Custom Blaster there, as honestly, we almost break the checkpoint. We're about halfway through, but Hawaiian's inkjet comes out and applies pressure. Wasn't enough, as they are able to break through the checkpoint here, and they take the lead. Is there only 2 checkpoints? No, there's 3. There is 3.
Yep, and so far, Forza Portugal, they're riding that momentum. They're 3. They're on the 3rd one now. With the missiles coming through, they're getting it. The Ultra Stamp comes through, damages so much, and that forces a little bit of a stagger, a stutter step from Forza Portugal. It's just Rayu and Prosper left standing. World is able to jump in, but Fading Away, they're able to successfully defend for at least a little bit. They stay alive, and with Prosper getting really aggressive, you have to be a little bit concerned if your pen goes down here if you are Forza Portugal, but so far that has happened, and the pack is able to find 2. DZ's hunting for that gal, and with Saving, providing the support, it's just Rayu left on that bottom right again.
And oh my goodness, DZ with the amazing pick. Woomy over here on the ledge, trying to keep that pencil from pushing further even more. Forza Portugal with a really good lead. Honestly, it's good that they got back past that checkpoint, Sig, because now that all that's stopping Fading Away from winning here is a checkpoint and a couple points. So having that checkpoint as a barrier is really good for Forza Portugal. As we see DZ Hip being forced to back with 1 minute left on the clock here, Sig. What can Fading Away do here to win?
They're gonna need to start off by finding a couple opening pits. It's not going to be easy, especially with the missiles coming through. There's 3 players down. It's just Wumi who had to jump out. And Forza Portugal, they have a very comfortable position. They're looking to probably extend that lead a little bit more, just kind of greeting for it, honestly. And with World on the top left, you can afford to do so. This Gal is just taking all of the time and resources away. Phoenix is able to jump in with that splashdown, find that pick onto Saving. DZ goes down, but Saving just isn't able to ride that tower for long enough, and that's a KO for Forza Portugal. Looked dicey at the very beginning, but again, I mean, this is the top seed for a reason. They're able to kind of hold on to that and just walk you down sometimes, and that's almost exactly what happened. They just had the mechanics. They had the 52 Gal that was able to get like 2 or 3 a couple of times, and that got them a lot of space here.
No, absolutely. And Fading Away still played pretty well, but like Forza Portugal, not only showing that they're the stronger team at the moment, they get the knockout there, which was phenomenal to see. But up next we do have Robo Ramen Zones, which big fan of this map and mode. I'm excited to see. I wonder if Hawaiian goes Incline here.
Possibly. I mean, Incline is definitely considered the better option for Splat Zones. You know, just with the amount of paint that it outputs. It has the super chumps. It has a sprinkler which can be put on the bowl up above on Ramen, and is very we'll say challenging to get rid of unless you have a sniper rider like Forza Portugal does, but it's still something that you don't want to divert much attention to if you can afford it. But Hawaiian really likes that jetpack bow. Like, he really enjoys it. I don't know if we'll be seeing the switch up. You know, possibly. Personally, I hope so, because I think that the jetpack bow is quite difficult to make work. And if you have something that is easier, you can kind of focus, you can kind of divert brain power and focus to a lot of other things, like dealing with flanks, like dealing with a gal that's running at you, and the pressure that comes from that. And because of how World and Phoenix, those two specifically, were like playing and just kind of really just pressuring the bow, which as a weapon struggles to get run down, I think that the Incline might be the play here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what both teams end up picking. I wonder what Forza Portugal is going to keep doing personally to keep the momentum going.
I honestly, they just need to keep doing more of what they were doing. In my mind, of just like, we have really strong weapons, we have really strong tools to do just about everything. The Missile Pro from Ryu, really smart pick on the previous map. You know, there are a lot of difficult spots to kind of push without missiles. And on this map, it's even more so because you have the elbow, which everybody kind of condenses onto a lot of the time around those pillows right before the middle of the map. They do. Like, Missile Pro is so strong here, the frozen one, I believe. And I really like sticking this comp for Forza Portugal.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like it's really going to help them succeed here. Especially like you said with the missiles and with the combo, with like the range on that pencil and just the AoE and the paint and the killing power of that gal. It's just a really strong comp. As Fading Away does get the first 10 points, but is knocked into penalty. Not a crazy one, as Forza Portugal takes over in the first 30 seconds to take the lead. And gets in their elbow too.
Yep, they've got a ton of space to work with. Oh, what a splashdown from Phoenix. Able to find 3, looking for the quad. Give it to him. And, I mean, now, Forza Portugal, they have all the space in the world that they could ever want. Prosper is set up very aggressively on this pencil, just trying to hold as much space as possible, get the picks. Has to back out because of the inkjet. But, I mean, now, Fading Away, they've gotten an opportunity. Still not that many picks, eventually trading out with World for Wumi. And I just realized the S-Blast pick from DZ gives a Booyah Bomb, gives an entry tool, and that's going right on Prosper just to force that pen even further back. Woomy's on the side of the map, but World is immediately there to trade out. We've got 15 points left on the zone, and nobody from Fading Away is even able to contest with one pick, maybe a second one onto Ryu, but no, Ryu's able to find the bow. That's a lot of the paint gone, but the rest of the team's able to pick up the slack. The hammer doesn't find anything, but DZ finds one, and Force of Portugal, they're able to respond, actually. And even though they didn't get the KO, they still got the cap, and I mean, we'll take that if you're either side, to be honest.
Yeah, like, the penalty does suck for them, but, like, it's nothing that they can handle. There's still 3 minutes left on the board. They're at 3 ticks. Fading Away's at 90. Like, if they just hold like they've been holding, they'll be fine. We see multiple specials ready on both sides. We've got the Booyah Bomb, we've got the missiles, we've got the splash down that just went out there. Honestly, yep, there it is. There's the Booyah Bomb. As we're at Floodage 20 ticks, we're using it to try to cap the zone, but cheating, the Gal are not going to let that happen, as Woomy does go for a flank, trying to paint. We see the Ultra Stamp come out, gets World and another player. I can't quite see which one looks like the Blaster, as they get the wipeout on Force of Portugal and break penalty, ticking down past 80. And honestly, hey, if Fading Away can keep Force of Portugal in their base, they can take this, but they have to fight really hard here and get the specials that they need. Hawaiian having the Inkjet at the ready. We see, oh my gosh, jumps happening left and right, people coming in left and right. Hawaiian
down.
Gets taken down by the Gal.
Oh, but Prosper got traded out, though. That's both backs gone. The missiles coming through from Ryu, and Phoenix is just trying to create the space. The zone is neutralized, but still, we've got 3 players in the zone for Fading Away. They're not able to cap. DZ wins the one with Phoenix, looking for a little bit more, just trying to scramble for this zone. The hammer doesn't find anything. World shuts it down, as well as the rest of the team. DZ gets forced off, and now it's all up to the painters of Fading Away. They have to find something. Hawaiian tries to make a play with the pack, but nothing's going to come from it just yet. Phoenix actually trying to find something, gets traded out. Hawaiian 1 HP in the bow. World is immediately there for the pick, and Mio's there for the refrag, but saving. Clutches up and Fading Away. They don't have any space on the map, but they're trying to take it as quickly as possible with their 2 lightweight quick weapons. It gets them the cap, but it's just still such a tough spot to be in until DZ gets that direct.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, there's still a decent amount of time on the board. They can break this penalty and still easy win with 2-1 or knockout if they just keep the momentum going. However, we do see CR7 here on the Blaster getting not 1, not 2, but 3 picks, activating Aura, and can we get the 4th? No, the Booyah Bomb is able to take them out, but as penalties was close to getting broken, we see a lot of contesting here. Force of Portugal with the splashdown is able to take the zone, and with a minute left on the board here, Sig, what? Fading Away, I'm going to ask you once again, what can Fading Away do to win here?
They're going to need to find a fight. DZ needs to win this one against World. Doesn't quite find the direct, and with Phoenix rotating to help, that's just not a winnable situation to be in. Now you have to find a way to retake, and without that much time left, you need to hope that everybody on Force of Portugal kind of just throws themselves at you. Phoenix already did. World's looking for a little bit more, but with 1 HP, is able to barely jump out. Hawaiian goes down to a Splat Bomb here. Ultra Stamp doesn't find anything, and this looks like a done deal for Force of Portugal. They look to KO. Saving is the only one left, and just gets outspaced, outranged, outgunned by Ryu. And Force of Portugal, they set themselves 1 map away from a date again with Bill Collectors.
I thought you were going to start singing Hamilton. I was like, that sounds familiar. A really amazing job from Force of Portugal here. Wow, Fading Away is getting put in situations where they can't really respond, I feel like, in the way that they want to. Like, they keep getting punished for certain specials going off. Like that, I will say that Gal pick on Hawaiian Inkjet was crazy. Speaking of, should we address the elephant in the room?
Which one?
The next map.
We can save that for after. We can save that for later. Actually. We can burn that bridge when we get there, you know?
What if we just don't acknowledge it?
It can't. If we don't talk about it, surely it won't like.
What is that? Okay, this is the second time I've seen it. It appeared over your head. I can't read it. It's too small. What does that say?
Oh, I realized he wasn't built for this.
Bro,
computer enhance.
I tried to computer enhance, but it's blurry. He realized. Yeah, I can see that he realized he wasn't built for this. Well, yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
listen, what is the tiger doing in Splatoon 3? I don't know how well they can swim, but I'd assume fairly well, just not well enough to keep up with squids, you know?
Well, like hot springs.
Maybe.
Also, why are we out of hot springs? Doesn't water, like, isn't water bad for us?
We don't worry about it. Inkling, don't worry about it. I'm sure they just they like the steam or something. But we're going into game 3. This is I'm again just wondering, is Hawaiian going to stick with this jetpack with the bulbs tri-stringer, or go with the incline? It looks like the answer is sticking with that bulbs tri-stringer. No comp changes from either side after game 2. Missile Pro coming through. DZ still on that S-Blast. I really like that S-Blast for the kind of flexibility. You know, you have Burst Bomb, Booyah Bomb, a lot of mobility. Gives a little bit more paint, and especially after the blaster nerfs, there's a little bit of reasoning as to why you should be running it a little bit more. And already though, Phoenix showing why Custom Blaster's been the top dog for the past 6 months, already finding one onto Woomy, trading out between the 2 support shooter players, but World is immediately there to find the third, and it's just Hawaiian left. And Force of Portugal, they're able to hold a lot of space in mid because of that fight win, because they were able to trade out so effectively and just rotate for that fight. World on that Gala is still putting in some serious work.
Oh, absolutely. But as you say that, the work is definitely being put to the test as Fading Away does go 2 down, and we do have a setup. We are set up in Fading Away's base, as you see, not 1, but 2 balls are able to get, 2 power clams are able to get thrown on in, and counting. We have multiple clams getting actively thrown in here, Sig.
Yeah, it looks like they've gone 3 players, 4 players down on the staggered wipeout, but down to 45 points. They've scored that pretty quickly. Now they just have to weather the storm of Fading Away. You've given them a pretty solid spot to be in with a couple of specials. Hawaiian pops the pack. There's Woomy with the Ultra Stamp. The clams are coming in, but World on the flank is going to shut everything down, kind of choke off the rest of the team. And there's 2 picks for the 52 gal. It's just the Wiper, and against 2, your best option is to jump out. The safest one, you still risk a lot, but I mean, it's better than possibly having to 1v2. And Fading Away, they're not able to get much out of that push, but it's still something.
A push is a push, and at this point with 3 minutes left on the board, you get yourself slowly closer. Your next push, you're able to do a little more. But for now, it looks like Force of Portugal is going to get their ball in. And it doesn't look like we are going to pick up the pity, but are we going to be able to get it in? It doesn't look like quite. Don't know why they decided to throw the pity back down. It's going to be spawned now, but I mean, that was certainly a choice.
You know, it is what it is. I mean, they're picking it back up. There's Ryu with it. Low HP, though. So many players are chipped off. There's 1 player down. Phoenix gone. Your blaster, your AoE is out of here. DZ and Woomy are walking forwards. They have the specials to go. There's 2 power clams. You just need 1 more mini clam to get the lead. There it is for Fading Away. And I mean, with Ryu on the backside, I don't think they'll be able to get many more clams. They're gonna have to fight their way out of this one. And with Phoenix finding 1, DZ's there for the trade, looking for another one onto Ryu, and it's a wipeout on the side of Force of Portugal. You still have all this space for Fading Away. You're looking to extend lead, but you just don't have the economy to do so here, Slap.
No, absolutely. And like, I mean, this isn't the strongest lead in the world, but they are trying to fix that. We see Hawaiian's Jet come out once again as we inch closer and closer, and we are able to get another. Fading Away is able to get another ball in, breaking the penalty and starting to slowly tick down to 37 points, which is stopped by Force of Portugal's wipeout, as it looks like they're gonna get set up here to get a ball in. But that was a really impressive play from Fading Away. Can they now hold off a couple clams and stop them from getting the lead here?
Prosper got picked off, maybe a little bit over eager with that power clam dunk. Super low HP, and now forcing the rest of the team to kind of back off and respect the rest of Fading Away. They may have just given them another opportunity to get the ball rolling in their side. Even though, you know, the missiles are finding so many, just so much space. Woomy is found as well, but so is Ryu with that jetpack. Hawaiian still just farming on the pack here, putting in so much work. Another direct onto Phoenix as well, Slat. I mean, what else can Fading Away do here? They've been just doing everything right so far, and even though people have been dropping behind, they've still almost got the KO ready.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was going to tell you what they could do, but they just showed you. Hawaiian was able to get that ball in, and as I say that, Fading Away takes game 3, which cancels the match point on, well, not cancels, but like we're still match point, but you know what I mean. We're still in this. Fading away, letting us know that hey, we're still in this, and we're not gonna give up that easily.
Yep, we still have some fight in us left. Say fading away, and they are raring to go. We are going back to Rainmaker, and I wonder what'll come out on top here between the double Ultra Stamp or the Ink Vac. Two really strong strategies when it comes to Rainmaker. And on this, wait a minute.
You say double Stamp versus Vac, but if I were to put those against each other, the Stamps are gonna win.
This is true. I said wait a minute because that's another map mode I never thought I'd see ever again. On Barnacle and Dime, we've been seeing a bit of a resurgence of this one, I think, just slightly more often.
You sound like you ran into an ex, Sig. You're like laughing nervously. What happened with you? What happened between you and Rainmaker, Barnacle, and Dime?
A lot. I'll tell you right now. After you get up to that top left, you better hope that you don't die. At least on the defense, because you can get KO'd pretty quickly there, and that's a pretty dangerous spot to be in, especially against teams that can pop incredibly quickly, like the Wellstring, like the double shooter even, which can pop relatively fast. Both these teams, it's going to be a volatile game, and I mean the Ultra Stamps, they're gonna be flying here.
Oh, I'm excited to see this, and like I said, they can throw the Ultra Stamps, but like if there's a Vac out, you can just like walk forward with the Ultra Stamp and crush it. That's like one of the few things that is really good against Vac is you just step on it.
Yep.
Is this a newer Cult of the Lamb update song? Because it goes off.
I actually don't know.
Sounds like
I haven't played Cult of the Lamb.
Enough of that. We are hopping. You should. But right now we're playing Splatoon 3. We are hopping into our game 4. There's the Wellstring we were talking about, baby, and we've got the Gal. We've seen these before. It's been a while since we've seen it from Forza Portugal, but these comps we are no stranger to as we hop into our game 4 here. Sig, take it away.
That's a lot of swim speed we're seeing from Forza Portugal. They're trying to out-kite the rest of Fading Away to just stay away from Woomy, stay away from DZ here on the Blaster and Wiper. And so far, I mean, it's working out okay, I guess. They've got a little bit of space advantage. Prosper's pushing forwards, the Ink Vac onto Phoenix, just allowing that Blaster to kind of get the pick onto Woomy. The Hammer, though, coming through from Hawaiian, isn't able to find anything. The Ultra Stamp not able to find much. It's only covered from the front and sometimes only barely. Woomy dives in, though, is able to find the one on the Rainmaker, just trying to kite away. No, nothing will come from it. World already in front of the checkpoint, as well as Forza Portugal take it. And, I mean, that's a pretty solid stall. They've got 2 players down, though, and Fading Away, I mean, they will take that advantage and just run them back to mid.
Absolutely. I mean, a strong first push, but this is giving Fading Away an opportunity here to absolutely just take mid. We see a Booyah Bomb and a Hammer come out as the Rainmaker does get reset. Honestly, I think Fading Away needs to focus on getting the picks here before they push forward, so they can not only get that checkpoint, but then continue to take that path up and get the lead.
Yeah, but I mean, so far, it's Fading Away have not really been able to move much past mid. The Ultra Stamp coming through, though, forces Phoenix to jump out behind the checkpoint, gives a lot of space for Woomy and DZ to work with, but the Ink Vac, as a response from Ryu, is going to just mean that the Rainmaker gets picked off here. 2 players down inside of Forza Portugal, make that a third as Prosper ends up getting picked off. World is behind him. We've seen this gal do wonders from the flank before, but the Suction Bomb is there, immediately catches the 52. We've got a Booyah at the ready for some cover to force Phoenix into a tough spot. That's 2 players down. This is what we were talking about earlier. If you get picked off too many players a couple of times, this is where the other team can kind of push really far. We're already down to 29. We've got the Rainmaker ready, Pops ready to go, some jumps in as well. And I mean, Fading Away, now they can just kind of stall out, or they can just run straight for 19.
So, I'm not proud to admit, I'm the type of player. So me, I'm a frontline slayer, I play Dapples, I play Shot. When I have the Rainmaker, the unfortunate times that I pick it up, if I feel like there's a lot of people around me and I'm going to die, yeah, I run forward, I swim forward as fast as I can. I'm like, I'm going to go as far as I can to get as many points as I can. So that's how many points they have to get past in order to beat them. And hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it's pretty stupid, I won't lie. In this instance, it looks like it's working in their favor. However, Forza Portugal over here it's their turn to put forward, as Fading Away is 3 down, and they have the opportunity to take the lead here.
Oh, and there's that lead. Then looks like Fading Away is fading just a little bit, giving up the lead. They're not giving up the fight, though, as they are able to find 3 players. It's just Phoenix left, who does find one onto Hawaiian, almost gets the second on the saving. But, you know, the Zap and the Blaster are able to clean that up. The Rainmaker does get reset here eventually, but Saving gets picked off, and that's a really tough pick to give if you are Fading Away. No cooler. DZ's gone as well. You don't have a lot of paint to work with. Woomy, though, with the Ultra Stamp, doesn't find anything. Excuse me. And, I mean, now Fading Away, they're just stuck between a rock and a hard place yet again here.
Absolutely, and I wanted to say, Sig, in order for this loser brackets finals to keep going, Fading Away has to knock out in order to win this game. With 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the board, Forza Portugal is taking back control of mid. Pencil does go down. We hear the Ultra Stamp come out. Hawaiian does have it. We see it come out, and whoa, he jumps directly into it, Sig! He jumped into that!
Oh my goodness. Wait a minute, this could be the opportunity that Fading Away need. The Booyah Bomb's coming through. We have Hawaiian up, ready to kind of get that repop. If saving does end up going down, the whale does come out though, and they're saving down, so you need that repop a little bit or a lot earlier than intended, able to get it thanks to that well string. And I mean, now we've got a bit of a tough circumstance, not really able to get anything going. World on the left-hand side just forcing the split attention, chipped for 60 from the Ultra Stamp, and there's just so much damage. You can't hide, you can't run. The well string will find you all the same. The Rainmaker does get reset though, as Woomy just tries to find something. Ryu's gone, Phoenix is low, and DZ's able to find that fight. It's 2 players left, and they're both on the top right for Forza Portugal. DZ walks forward, finds one more, has the Booyah Bomb, tries to pop, but just isn't able to find it. Hawaiian with the Ultra Stamp is ready, goes for the pop, can't quite find it. 20 seconds left, and Forza Portugal, they find Woomy. All they have to do is find the pick onto saving, to live with this Rainmaker for long enough, and they've booked themselves a ticket to the grand final.
Absolutely, all they have to do is, which I will say, I mean, there's a reason we were transferring to the I do not like it when I see the stalling, but hey, if it works, it works, and this is going to bring, oh my gosh. Why can I now in the moment not remember either team's name?
Fading Away in Forza Portugal.
My memory faded away in that moment, Sig. I forgot everything.
Yeah. Happens sometimes.
Fading Away lost, so my memory went with it, apparently.
Yep.
That's crazy. Well, Forza Portugal takes the game 3-1, where Fading Away did do a good job during that Clan Blitz match. Unfortunately, we will not be going to Shifty Stations for our 5th game here, it looks like. Sorry, I had to throw that out there, because I thought that would be funny. Unfortunate. But we are now going to our grand final. Sig, are you excited? We have Forza Portugal versus Bill Collectors, and both of these teams, they didn't fight at all earlier, did they?
No, this is the run back of the winners finals. Quite a banger game 5. The Bill Collectors were eventually able to come back and win in Rainmaker.
Yeah.
And I mean, now it's a little bit different. We're not running double Rainmaker. We're going double tower control, I believe. But yeah, Bill Collectors were able to take it last time. Very curious to see what comes out of this for Forza Portugal. They have kind of selected a new little bit of tech with that Frozen Pro for a lot of these map modes, and I think that'll help them out a lot, especially with just forcing out the leader, whether that's Fizney or that's Taxes. But going into the maps, we're kicking things back to tower control on Hagglefish Market again.
Oh yeah, big fan of this map. Both teams have a backline, as far as I'm aware, that can take advantage of setting up on these glasses here. I've been saying about Haggle, it's one of those maps, you know how I was talking about how, like, there are checkpoints built for, like, you'll have a checkpoint that is easy to defend, and then you'll have one that's hard to defend. This feels like one of those maps where the first checkpoint is harder to get past, but then, like, as you build momentum, it feels more fair. Like, it takes turns being like, okay, you have more of an advantage versus the defending team who's trying to get you off of the tower this time. I think Haggle is a very balanced map for tower.
I think that a lot of people would agree with you. You've got a good bit of options and routes and everything. But this is kind of one of those maps where it's still super open. The leader's always going to be a problem that you have to kind of solve if you're Forza Portugal. They were able to relatively easily last time. I believe they took this game, the last time these two teams played, but anything can happen. It's going to be quite difficult regardless, and I'm very curious to see what happens when we load up. I think that Bill Collectors are going to run back the same comp of just, I believe it was Leader, Dynamo, Blaster, and then Soren on the Wiper. But you know, I'm curious to see what if this like Missile Pro, if Ryu sticks with it, and maybe that'll help out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And who do you think, like, I love, like, hot take, I love saying this, who do you think is favored to win this? Who do you think's got it? No bias. Who do you think, from what we've seen today, skill-wise, has grand finals?
See, that's a little bit of a tough question, simply because these teams were neck and neck the last time they played.
They
They kind of both stomped the one other set that we've seen both these teams play on stream. Don't really know how it's gonna work out for them, but because Bill Collectors were able to clutch up, were able to kind of almost steal away a couple of wins, and they you know, and they were able to win last time, I'm gonna lean Bill Collectors here. I think the pressure's on them. They have 2 sets to close it out, and it's going to be quite tough because Forza Portugal, these are still like incredibly strong top players, and it's never going to be easy. It's not easy now. It never will be. And I'm curious to see what they kind of do here, because they're gonna have to change something up.
Forza Portugal rate wins. Is there a bracket reset in Paddle Pool? I forget.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then, yes, I also agree with you. I do think Bill Collectors has it, but I won't lie. I would be excited to see a bracket reset. So I'm excited to see what we have. Anyways, we hop right into the Fro Pro shooting off the Hunter missiles. Having really good control of mid here as we see Ultra push forward, get a trade with the Dynamo, and honestly, it's pretty much a stalemate here as both teams are just vying for the tower here.
Yeah, so far so good for Bill Collectors, though. They're able to eventually just outpace the rest of Forza Portugal. Never thought I'd say that about a leader team, but the rest of them are just like walking forwards. They're getting trades with Cooler. They've got specials to burn as well. There's another Tactical Cooler ready to go for Bill Collectors with the splashdown ready on Zog here. It's going to be just taking the space relatively quick. The missiles come through to kind of stall out a little bit, make some space, but Zog is able to find a direct onto Ryu, and now the Ultra Stamp just gets thrown over. World is down. There's not much to work with for Forza Portugal. Phoenix is able to find 1-2 and trade out, and there's Ryu and Prosper able to try and just find something. Zog does have that splashdown ready, jumps in with it, finds the pick onto Ryu, and backs off eventually, but no, actually, instead of backing off, finds that fight, wins the direct onto World. And Bill Collectors, they almost lost mid, but with some heroics from that Blaster, just save it for them there.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's definitely unfortunate end to Bill Collector's push, but that was a really good stall that the Blaster played for them, and it's giving them the opportunity to once again get out and push again.
Yeah, I mean, we see Zog just in the backline trying to find something on the flank, but while that's happening, World is underneath Fizney here and just forces a really uncomfortable spot and situation. The missiles also come through, and this leader really in the past 15 seconds has not been able to get a shot off comfortably because of everything that's been happening. This is how you have to play against a leader. You have to play to make the leader uncomfortable. You have to make sure that they waste their shot, that the rest of your team has something to work with, but it doesn't matter if you can't deal with the other 3 players on the team. Bill Collectors clean everything up. Soren and Ultra and Zog just the cleanup crew, and I mean, Soren's somewhere in spawn just tossing an Ultra Stamp. Works out pretty well just space-wise, but now you're down 2 players and now you have to back up and reset.
Yeah, and I mean, well, that is unfortunate. They do have plenty of time to reset. Thankfully, Bill Collectors was only able to get to near the end of the second checkpoint. So I wouldn't count Forza Portugal out just yet. As they have really good paint and really good coverage, as long as they can keep up on the picks, which they seem to be struggling with. Their paint is fine, their special output is fine, but they keep getting picked off. They're not winning their 1v1s. Maybe they need to start taking 2v1s? I don't know. Sig, what do you think?
Look, I think that all that Forza Portugal needs to do is just make sure they don't get run over while pressuring the leader. If they can deal with the dynamo and the blaster and the wiper, then things will be fine. But then you're kind of stuck dealing with the leader, and you kind of have to just sink your chances when that leader's not up. So far so good though. The leader's down, so is Soren, and now it's just Zog and Ultra left. Fizney on that respawn is going to come back, opt for the top right just to try and defend the checkpoint, not even going to contest the middle of the map. Phoenix does end up getting a little bit over aggressive there and goes down, and Soren's pretty close to this Ultra Stamp. Nobody is in the backline though for Bill Collectors, and that's where Soren has kind of put in a lot of work. Zog though just rushing forward. Prosper's not having a good time. There's Soren as well. World jumps in, or I guess jumps out to try and support. But nobody's able to find any picks on the side of Forza Portugal. A trade eventually happens with Phoenix, but Ultra's trading it out. The leader, Fizney, is able to find one onto Prosper, who's riding the tower, and Soren just cleans up mid. And Bill Collectors, they've just been unstoppable this game.
Absolutely. Every time Forza Portugal takes an inch, Bill Collector comes back and claps back with a mile. And it is insane how easily and quickly they adapt to a push from Forza Portugal. We immediately see specials fly out. We immediately see coordination that just gets the tower moving forward in their favor again. With 15 seconds left on the board, Sig, it's really Forza Portugal's last chance to get on this tower and push it forward here.
Yeah, but I mean, Bill Collectors, just like in the previous set that we saw them play on this map, they're just holding the tower here. They're just holding the lead, making it so you have to walk into the leader and the dynamo, and that's just not a winning formula. Not an easy thing to do either without specials, and with so little time, you don't have any of that to charge the specials, and that's how they're gonna lock out on game one.
Yeah, honestly, really good game one for Bill Collectors here. Forza Portugal didn't do that bad. But if they really want to win, they really have to pick up the pace here. As we do head up next to Clan Blitz on Barnacle and Dime, a real classic where we watched. I think this one played earlier as well, where it's very important where you go mid, elbow, basket, mid, elbow, basket, and as long as you have control of those areas, the game is yours, my friend.
Yeah, but I mean, taking those spaces, especially around the basket, is much easier said than done. You're kind of stuck in this pit a lot of the time, in this lower ground where you have to, shoot upwards, or you have to fight upwards, and that's just not easy to do, especially into leader, especially into sniper. Those are kind of the two main playmakers on this map. Both Prosper and Fizney, you're gonna have to keep an eye out for those two.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of them have really strong plays on this map in particular. Remind me what they play again?
Prosper is playing the sniper for Forza Portugal, and then Fizney is that leader.
You can literally just stand and at any high point and have access to the entire map. It feels like on this map. It's very flat. Kind of like Haggle, it's a very flat map with not a lot of obstacles in the way. To where you can what I have in mind is to the when facing the basket, to the right of the basket, to the front right of it, that little perch where you can set up. Both of these anchors have so much range.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what they do with it. As we go into our game 2 here, Sig, take it away.
These backlines, they can stabilize, they can make plays, they can find the picks, everything you need, but with the rest of your team as well, I mean, you have to be really smart, especially in neutral, and find ways to break that. Looks like World is switching over to the Wiper, and we have Phoenix on the 52 gal for this game. Already, though, Phoenix does get picked off, and that's an early pick for Bill Collectors. They will take it and run. Already, we see Fizney getting aggressive on that left-hand side, trying to find an off angle, maybe find Ryu or Prosper before they get their specials up, but Prosper's already got the coolers, getting aggressive with it as well, trying to just peek shot around anybody, maybe some answer of the chip damage. Phoenix goes down again on the left-hand side, and this gal switch, it simply has not been working out. Even with the missiles coming through, it's not leading to all that much, as Zog is able to find a trade. Fizney is able to find the tap shots down, and Ultra just finds that pick onto World on the Ultra Stamp. It is not looking great for Forza Portugal here.
Absolutely, and as you say, that Bill Collectors does go 2 down but is able to push all the way up to the basket, getting it down to 74 ticks within the first minute. We see a splashdown and a clam go in, as clams are thrown everywhere, because splashdown, unfortunately, one of the few specials that make you drop all your clams when you do. But it doesn't seem to matter, as they may be, both teams are 2 down, but Bill Collectors is constantly throwing more and more clams into this basket, keeping it open, as it does look like it does finally close at 62 clams. With 1 minute and 15 seconds only into the game, it's still anybody's game. But I would say, pretty strong push from Bill Collectors here, Sig.
Yeah, it's a decent opener, you know, for how quickly that push went down. You know, you will take that just about any day of the week. You're not going, you know, neutral on the economy, either not giving them a free power clan. You're making them have to work to kind of answer back with the scoring. And, I mean, you still have a lot of control of mid, because Fizney was able to get back in because of how scrappy that fight was, because nobody was left up for Forza Portugal to push forwards. And now they're just knocking on the door of that basket again. Fizney goes for the power clam dunk. There it is. And the rest of the team is there to respond. Zog has 3 clams, not looking to score, maybe just looking to fight, force Prosper into a tough spot. Trades out onto Phoenix, actually. But nobody's able to kind of keep that scoring going. Eventually, I believe Ultra just tries to jump forwards and make something happen. But now, how much are you paying for that? World is able to get in there, find a couple picks with the Ultra Stamp, and Fizney has to back all the way off. Now you're in between a rock and a hard place, because you've given this 52 gal so much room.
Oh yeah, and once I was playing the tournament last night, and when you give a 52 gal so much room, they really take advantage of that 2 shot, and they can really go forward very quickly. But it does seem like that they are able to push back, and they once again have a ball and control of mid, as they are once again heading towards the basket. Score once again. We see the pick. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, go for it.
Oh my god, what a shot from Fizney onto Prosper.
Yeah.
Again, that's the long range gone. Everybody is stuck in pit on the side of Forza Portugal, and it's a firing line for Bill Collectors. They're able to knock it down to 23 points, and Ultra still managed to jump in, not quite get anything off of that jump in, but still, they just got the score down to 23. They've got the space. They've installed Phoenix for like a half second, which is not huge, but it's still not nothing, and that gives Bill Collectors at least a little bit of a foothold on the plat, just trying to contest mid here to go along with it. The 52 gal does pop the killer whale, but I mean, Slat, what can Forza Portugal do here to come back?
Okay, well, with almost a minute 30 left, minute 40 left, they have a ball into the change. They really need to prioritize building. We see how we got a ball in. We need to have one or 2 people hold, and we need to have the other 2 go back and collect. And they just need picks. Picks, Sig. You need to get as many picks as you can, just to keep that basket open and to get as many clams in. Which, it looks like, unfortunately, they weren't able to do. And that ate up 30 seconds, Sig. So if they really want to win, they need to get balls. They need to build their power clams. They need to focus on painting the map, making them appear, and getting the picks that they need. Because Bill Collectors has all of them right now. And until they pick them up, they really can't do anything with 1 minute left on the board, Sig. They get a ball in, Bill Collectors. So we have 2. We have that and then a second pity, but it doesn't matter, as Bill Collectors gets the knockout game 2 here.
Every single time Bill Collectors needed a pick, either just somebody was able to get it. Just easily, just really quick. Whether that was Fizney, who we just talked about, like with that score down to 23. Zog got a double at the very end there to kind of clean things up, and just absolutely decimated, secured the KO and the tournament point for Bill Collectors. They now have 3 maps to close it out. In the previous couple of games, we've seen them get knocked down and have to get back up. This time, they're the ones on the offensive. They're the ones that are just like forcing Forza Portugal to respond, and they just haven't been able to yet. They've barely got points on the board.
Forza Portugal, more like forcing Portugal into a situation where they need to fight harder. On Rainmaker, Scorch Gort, I don't like your silence, but I do deserve it.
It was... I respect it. I respect the attempt. Might need a little bit more time in the oven, but we ball. We're going to Rainmaker.
We can't be funny all the time. Rainmaker.
This is true.
Correct.
Listen, at least you're attempting. You know, I'm not.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Hey, I'm gonna say it. I dislike Scorch Gorge. I'm not a fan.
Really? We're gonna go on a Scorch Gorge therapy session here, because I love this map. Why do you not like Scorch Gorge?
Okay, so I don't like it feels like, wow, this music is crazy. Sorry, off topic. I don't like that block in the middle on specific maps. I don't like it on zones. I don't like it on tower. I feel like the Rainmaker one that we're hopping on right now, specifically, which, hey, Match Point TV, it feels like it feels like a copy of excuse me, Museum, where you get to the first checkpoint and then you have to push through a very skinny area. You go down and then you go up, and then it's like once you get through the past checkpoint, you're playing a game where you literally just have to get everyone. You have to finish everyone before the enemy team, or you can't make that checkpoint. It's so easy to defend.
It really is. It is a tough uphill battle for the pushing team. And while InkFact does help with that, you still have to deal with the rest of the team. And especially when Zog is just making pushes like this, finding the pick onto Ryu, forcing Prosper all the way back into the back of the map towards the checkpoint. There's not really much space for Forza Portugal to work with that's not completely controlled by the Splat Charger, by the Hammer, by just about anybody on Build Collectors. There we go. And with that back pop, I mean, they've still got a good bit of space. World does have the Hammer, and that's going to find 2, bringing the Hammer down, but same thing with the Rainmaker into that checkpoint. And, I mean, Build Collectors, they have to back off here, but, I mean, that's a very solid first minute from them.
Oh no, yeah, I wanted to say, like, Forza Portugal was doing a great job at getting picks, but, like, you can get kills but then be useless. And unfortunately in that moment they still were able to get the checkpoint and they were still able to make the push that they were getting. Did it get stopped? Yes, but like you said, for that first minute, really quick and easy, really good. Forza Portugal once again at a disadvantage, but they've been at it this entire grand finals, so they got to get comfy, Stig. They got to get comfortable with it if they're going to want to turn this around and sweep.
Yeah, and I mean, so far, Comfy is the exact opposite of where they are right now. Prosper just getting run down by 3 players of Build Collectors. Eventually, I think Soren or Ultra was the one to get that pick. And, I mean, now they have to just make a dash for the Rainmaker. Still not a crazy push on the side of Build Collectors, but I mean, you'll take a lead, but World is immediately just tearing down the back line. He finds one. The rest of the team rotates for that trade. But, I mean, now you've given Forza Portugal a lot of space to work with. Zog is kind of isolated again, but finds one Miracle Fight onto Phoenix. Looks for that second onto World. There it is. Trades out. But still, I mean, that gives all the space in the world to Build Collectors. They've got mid. They've got the Rain. And now they're getting picked off. So Forza Portugal, they have an opportunity here as soon as they find Soren.
Absolutely. I mean, both teams one down, but we got a lot of specials on the side of Forza Portugal. If they can stay alive and keep the opportunity to let people in, this is the time to push. I mean, Build Collectors has only made it to the first checkpoint, right? So all they have to do is make it to that checkpoint and then go past it. 1 point. That's it. And with 2 minutes left on the board, they could easily do that. We see the back come out, giving them the chance to push forward, but there's no one around to push forward with.
No, nobody was up. I mean, as soon as Ryu vacked, they tried vacking, I think it was Phoenix, and Bro was just not, Bro didn't get the vac up in time, and that means the blaster gets picked off. You're staggered a little bit. World was not in a spot to kind of reposition and try and help with that fight, but now they are, and now they've got a couple of picks to work with. The vac coming through from Fizney is going to just have to be used to back up, but the splashdown still finds picks. The vac shot isn't going to stop the checkpoint from being taken, and now Forza Portugal, they have all the space they need. They can take this lead really quickly if World grabs the Rain. There it is, down to 57 points. Ultra does end up finding that pick, but no, it's still a rough spot for Build Collectors. They have to get all the way back into mid. They have to keep going, but they find everything that they need. The splats are all theirs, and Ryu tries to make a mad dash, ends up going down, and it looks like we're getting ready for another push here.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, good job from Forza Portugal on getting that lead, but Build Collectors are coming to collect what's due to them, and it looks like we're getting very much aggression from Zog here, as we have seen throughout the day already, getting amazing picks one after the other. We see the splashdown. Is it going to come out? No, not quite yet, but Build Collectors just take the lead. And here's the point of the Rainmaker match that I was talking about earlier, the uphill battle that I despise so much about this map.
Yep, this is where it really kind of rears its head, and you don't really have an easy way to deal with it except unless you have an InkFact. Now, granted, Build Collectors don't have any fast, fiery weapons that can fill up the InkFact very easily, any high DPS stuff outside of the Wiper, and Soren has to get incredibly close to kind of get there. But Forza Portugal first need to kind of get through the Dynamo Roller, get through the Charger and everything, and Bill Collectors have a vac of their own that is just equally as hard to respond to. 15 seconds left. Can they get anything going? Looks like Fizzny's immediately popping the ink vac. The hammer finds two, make it a third. It's only World left standing, and that wiper I don't think is going to be long for this World. The Dynamo is staring at it, and immediately as I say that, the flick comes through. Bill Collectors, they collect what is owed to them. The rent is due, and they take Paddling Pool 374.
Well, I did say it once, and I'll say it again. There are two things certain in life, Sig. What are those?
They are death and taxes, Slat.
Correct, and taxes have been collected as they are due to be done. Congratulations, Bill Collectors, on winning Paddling Pool 374. And what an amazing set that we got to commentate. Just every single set we played was nothing but excitement. Sig.
There are some serious bangers.
Actually commentated. Oh, absolutely!
But yeah, that was really solid stuff from Bill Collectors. I mean, after Winners Finals, and after the momentum that Forza Portugal had from the lower bracket, I was expecting this to be much closer, but I mean, Bill Collectors, they stayed hot. They kept on going. They kept their momentum riding from that win, from that confidence boost in Winners Finals, and just, I don't want to say stomped, because that last game was pretty tight until the end, but it was a 3-0. They swept their way to this win, and that was very impressively done from them. A shout out Bill Collectors, really strong work. This is, I think, King, or the roster of King, but with Fizzny subbing in for taxes of some sort. I think it's King adjacent. I remember a few of these teams, and that's really cool to see them after doing so well in Ludi, see them immediately go into a weekly and just kind of just sweep it.
Absolutely, and I do want to hop back real quick and point out some of our bangers from earlier fading away. I want to shout out Hawaiian. He was doing crazy on the bow. I did meet Hawaiian a couple years back when he was a lower level player. So to see him be one of the top players in the West these days is exciting to see. Shout out World, who played amazing on Forza Portugal. I loved the plays that they were taking, specifically what I was seeing. Any players that you saw today that you really want to like put a spotlight on real quick before we head out?
Shout out Fizzny and Taxes. I'm a big Charger fan, and Prosper. I'm a big Charger fan. I'm a big backline fan. Support our backlines. It's just like goalies in hockey. You got to protect our goalies, protect our backlines too. Exactly. And I mean, they all played phenomenally. We didn't see much in terms of playmaking from Prosper, but Bro was just a very stable backbone for a lot of Forza Portugal's run. And then, I mean, we saw how the leaders and Chargers went for Bill Collectors. I mean, they just absolutely smoked it.
And absolutely. And last but certainly not least, Zog was crazy on Blaster today. Pick after pick, just like boom, flick, pick, boom, flick, pick. It was amazing to watch. But enough about that. Sig, where can the lovely people find you as we wrap up today?
You can find me just about anywhere where the Splatoon community hangs out, whether that is Blue Sky, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Twitch, all that kind of stuff, at Sig Dakari, like you see at the bottom of your screen right there. Slat, where can the lovely people find you?
You could find me, same thing as Sig, at the same at Slatica. If you want to find me on any of those platforms, Slatica. And with that, thank you so much to Joe Ryan for being our favorite token Paddling Pool streamer. And we will see you same time next week for Paddling Pool 375. Have a wonderful rest of your day.